Good evening, good morning, good night, everyone. We are together tonight with Titanfire. With Titanfire, we say hi to everyone.
Good evening, folks.
Good evening, everyone. So tonight we have a match between. Oh, that's for. I forgot, for thinking God's sake. That's for. I don't remember what. Sorry, guys, my bad.
TFS81.
TFS81. Titanfire to the rescue. Green Reaper competitive. So we have both teams are getting ready. Of course, let's do a brief check on who are both teams so we know who they are, okay? So let's start with TFS81. TFS81
are ready to taxi, by the way, there. If you would like them to get going.
Yes, they can start taxing. Thank you.
Okay.
So TFS81 is a squadron based on the Tomcat squadron for Sorry, oh, my English today is for sure. AAEF squadron received F-14 Tomcats of the late 70s, and this team was founded on 2019. So they've been going to Seccond 2020 and TACT21-2 tournaments recently. And of course, these guys are not only active on Discord, they are also active on Instagram. And also they have a YouTube channel that you all can check. They're also producing tutorials over Farsi language, that's Iranian for you all folks that don't know your languages. And of course, they are from Iran, they are Irani based. Of course, they also have some public servers, you can all guys check it out. They've been working on PvE missions since 2018. For now, let's check who we have on Green Reaper side. Of course, I think we all know Green Reaper guys. It's been a long time since we've been having them around. So Green Reaper competitive was formed early this year by three of the members of 4 vs 4 Saturday Gold 2020 tournament, and the recruitment just drive it for 6 vs 6 team. So now they are learning, training, and just get put in a good fight. Of course, this team is proudly sponsored by Wing Week. Of course, Wing Reaper competitive has been participating over Satal recently. And of course, they've been finishing top of the group, winning 5 of the 7 matches. And unfortunately, well, one illegal missile cost them one of the fight. They are currently the CTF World Cup 2020 Championship and looking forward for defending their title as the new host team later on this year. So guys, these are both teams that we are going to have fighting today. I think that as far as I know, and Titanfire, please correct me if I'm wrong, both teams are very, very, very capable teams, and we'll be seeing them having a very nice fight tonight.
Yeah, hopefully, Deliberator. I've watched both of these teams' previous TACT matches. For both teams, obviously, that was against the 104th Phoenix, because they're all 3 squadrons are in Group C of TACT. And certainly from the TFS81 side, because their match was first, there was a good showing against the 104th. And we'll talk through some interesting tactics and things that we saw during that as the evening progresses, and obviously then most recently the Grim Reapers competitive folks took on the 104th, and again gave them a good solid showing. So I think we're hopefully going to see a good match here today.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really looking forward for how everything's going to play out tonight. I mean, can we do a checkup on the lineup what we have? Titanfire, if you can, please.
Sure, yeah. So I'm just having a look here at Bandar Abbas on my own screen as the Grim Reapers competitive aircraft take both runways at Bandar Abbas, which is nice. I think usually we see aircraft just stack on one, so this should make for a pretty takeoff if they go together. We've got all Vipers on board on the Grim Reapers competitive. We don't have loadouts yet because, as we've talked about many times on TACT, the typical thing for Vipers to do is to hold rearming to the last minute, so they get all the fuel they can in the bags. I'm led to believe that that is because of a bug with the Viper fuel tanks, where when you're draining from them on the ground, they won't actually refill the bags without taking them off entirely.
Yeah, that's the thing with the 81. That's the thing with the 16. For example, the 18 doesn't have that book, interestingly, And even the Mirage 2000, it has an implementation where you can fix it just ticking one thing on the options. So I'm really looking forward to see those kind of small details fixed for the 16, now that they are going to give some love to it.
Looking then at the 81st up at Kerman Airfield, we have them back taxiing currently. If I could see which runway this is, runway 16 they'll be taking off on. So they've got a single Jeff, they have 2 Tomcats, and then they have 2 Vipers and a Hornet. So a real mixed bag of tricks here coming from the TFS81 folks.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to those kind of mixed match, because you never know how a thing is going to play off, you know.
Yeah, just have a quick look at the loadout on TFS81, and the Vipers are taking the usual 3 bags, 6 AMRAAMs, no surprises there. The single Hornet has all the AMRAAMs in the world in a single bag, so, you know, that's something we've seen squadrons do. And the Tomcats, of course, carrying the standard 6 Phoenixes and 2 Sidewinders. So nothing hugely surprising here.
Yeah, I mean, the standard loadout for what kind of airplanes? Well, nothing. I think there has only been one match where there was one loadout that surprises guys, and it was ALA 15 virtual, where one guy carried like 4 120s in his 16, and that was all, as far as I recall correctly.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, I remember watching that. Maverick was hosting it, and we had 4 AMRAAMs in a single bag. I'm still curious as to what the reasoning was behind it. I wonder if we'll ever hear, but I don't think it actually made a difference to the fight in the end.
Yeah.
So the Grim Reapers competitive folks have rearmed. I'm just looking here on the runway at Bandar Abbas, and they have the standard Viper loadout, 6 AMRAAMs each, 3 bags. So again, no surprises.
Yeah, I mean, we are just waiting for everyone to get ready to take off, and we'll start in just a few moments, gents.
Oops. Yeah, 2 tidy Vic formations here from the Grim Reapers competitive at Bandar Abbas on both runways. It's nice to see that.
Well, we are love of good formation, and I expect them just to not only have a good formation on ground, but also have a good formation up in the air. I mean, I want some beautiful shots while we are waiting for both teams just to enter the area, you know, combat area.
Absolutely, yeah. So we have GRC announcing they are ready to take off now. All TFS81 are just finishing their forming here, so it's going to be 3 pairs of 2.
Perfect. So let us check both teams in the half view while we are waiting. Okay, so this is going to be better for you all viewers. Well, now that we have Cap over here, we should say valued viewers, I think we should say. Okay, gents, so everything is almost ready. We'll be seeing both teams taking off in just a few moments. For all of you who haven't seen yet any kind of fight of TACT21 this tournament, yes, we are going to do a general overview of the rule set. First, all teams, or both teams, are allowed, responding to Call Your Own question, both teams are allowed to have 14 either or human Rio. They can just go with just 31, okay? So this is a 6 versus 6 fight. They are going to get into a bubble. We'll see that in just a sec when they take off. They have to get into the bubble, fight each other off using Fox 3s, Fox 2 up to AIM-9M, not an AIM-1X. Well, of course, no nuke is allowed. Apart from that, all is allowed. Yeah, so that's everything as far as the fair play. Go for it, have some fun, and well, that's it. Nothing too fairly complicated. Of course,
yeah,
when...
Well,
yeah, sorry to
finish your thought.
Thank you. So, of course, when the fight is over the bubble, then they have to land over the enemy airbase. So take that into account. It's not only fighting; it's also fuel management and missile economy. So that's what decides each fight.
TFS81 announcing they'll be ready in 30 seconds. So
Perfect.
We're almost at a point where we'll get the takeoff.
Roger. That means that round 1 is going to start in just a second, gents. Fasten your seatbelts, grab your beer, and some popcorn if you wish so, because we'll be starting in just a few moments.
Yeah, so I was just going to comment on the overview you just gave about the weapon restrictions. Like, one of the nice things about TACT, as we've mentioned several times throughout the competition thus far, that it is a little bit more relaxed in its nature, and squadrons are kind of empowered to self-organize in a way. And with the restrictions, you're right, it's just no nukes, and obviously we don't see any 21s around. It would be amazing to see, actually. And then just no 9Xs. So other than that, we've got M120Cs, we've got all the M54s available. I think we've seen both the Alpha Mark 60s and the Charlies in use from the Phoenix side. And 81 are announcing they're now ready.
Okay, so gents, you know what that means. So Titan Fire, whenever you want, please send the guys up and run into the air, so we can start. Okay, so they are on it, guys. We are starting first round of this match between TFS81 and Green Reapers. So we can see on the left screen, we can see that Tomcat and 16 is already taking off, while Green Reaper seems to have at least 3 flights just waiting on the left runway. Let's do a fast check on the right runway. So right runway is just taking off right now. So I assume, just watching this, that what we are going to see from Green Reaper side is to have... Oh no, all of them are just texting. Perfect. Okay, gents. Now let's check how everything's going to go on. So Green Reaper is just taking off.
Yeah, interestingly, all 6 of them together using both of those runways. That is nice to see.
Well, I mean, when you have the option, I think that's the standard way to go. It's way easier just to not fuck things up over the takeoff, It's not funny just to think of, okay, we are going to take off and we are going all to crash together. That's not fun at all.
No, I don't think anyone would claim it is. But it is rather impressive looking when you look at these 6 Vipers side on or head on there. That you're just this nice little group together. Speaking of the airframes, I should point out as well, by the way, TFS81, there are 4 members of the 81st Squadron themselves, and they have 2 members of Lock-on Greece joining them as mercenaries. So the 2 Vipers are being flown by Lock-on Greece Trojan and Lock-on Greece Tagari. And the other point of note about the airframes of the 81st are the 2 Tomcats have no human Rio, so they are relying on Jester.
Okay, so guys, now you know, okay, for all the viewers. So, of course, what that means not having a human Rio is that it is a bit harder to lock and track targets. I mean, don't count on me. If you saw the pure fight that Tricker did emit or fight against Toro Squadron, okay, I know how to eat my phoenixes. I just say that. I just know how to take them full head on.
Indeed. It was one of those unfortunate things about the Phoenixes that from the stream's point of view we saw Phoenix go into a hill, and from the server's point of view it went into you, so we got unlucky, sir.
Oh really?
But that is Phoenixes in desync, yeah. That'll be one to watch back on.
Yeah, that's something to watch back on. So, well, gents, let's just ask ourselves, check how everything's going on, what we have for formations. So from the Green Reaper side, we have still the 6 airplane formation all together clamped up. I assume that they are just going to open up once they enter the bubble, around waypoint 9 on blue and 5 on red, okay? And for the red side, we can see that they are already spreading. We have Banana and Phantom just going for the middle. They are both Tomcats, followed by Tagari with his 16, and to his right flank we have Trojan just separating there. Okay, on the back area we can see... Oh, sorry, my bad, I missed. So we have Phantom and Banana on the top area, 19 and 14, and we have the other 14 just going up to all the trail. He's just all the way back. Rock with the 17 just in the middle, and Takari is just covering the 18 and 14 on the front side. Trojan, he's just going to the right flank alone, and I don't know what to expect from this move. I don't know what are your insight into this.
Yeah, it's a funny one, because I would have expected the 2 Vipers to stay together. Because we've seen it work successfully with Bravo and VTAF who were who ended up winning the group that your squadron have been in, Deliberator, so apologies for mentioning them.
No problem.
But they've worked quite well together, where they've had 2 VTAF members in, I think, all of their matches, and then 4 Bravo. And the 2 VTAF tended to kind of stay as a pair, and it eased that element of trying to work with another squadron. Because obviously, you know, different countries, different languages, different comm styles, different tactics, anything you can do to minimize the problems these can throw up, the better. So I'll be interested to see whether TACGRI follows Trojan left. But at the moment, it's looking like Rook in the Jeff is trailing Trojan out to the west. Yeah,
so we're seeing that, sorting people out, seems that Rook is going to cover Trojan. I think they are going to fight together. Then the 14s, I think that Skywalker is just on the back, working together with Banana, doing a grinder between them. And Phantom and TACGRI seems to be just in the middle, trying to support both 14s, just being there for them. I think that's how it's going to be played for 81 and 𝐋𝐈𝐒𝐄𝐒 side.
Yeah, I think we'll probably see it develop over the next kind of minute or so as they get towards the bubble, or even as they get into it. They're only about 15 miles now from the bubble, the 81st, and about 10 miles from GRC getting to the edge on the south.
Okay, so I have no problem. Okay, solve. Okay, so let's check on the left side, Grim Reaper. So they are still all clumped together, doing a very, very nice formation flight. I think we love our formation flights. Come on, guys, we want more formation flights when we are just entering the battle. We won't get tired of these guys. Never.
More formation coming in, more formation going out.
Yes, please. More formation landings. That's it. The style points for all of you guys.
So we do see, by the way, on the 81st side, the lock-on Greece TACGRI is now tracking west as well. So we've got Rook, TACGRI, and Trojan looking to be taking a western cut, and then the ladder effectively between Banana, Phantom, and Skywalker.
Just a mention for Mr. Hero 15 over the chat. It is not allowed to have mercenaries from one team participating on the other team, okay? So in this case, lock-on Greece is helping 81 squadron, TFS81 in this fight, so as you all know, okay, guys? So now we see on the left screen, we can see that Green Reapers are just entering the bubble, and they are still keeping their formation very tight. I assume that they are just trying to complicate the sorting for the Green Reapers plus, sorry, for 81 plus Green Reaper. We are going to mismatch lots of times. Lock-on Greece.
Lock-on Greece, indeed.
Yeah,
and that confuses a lot of people when they see GR, and that's lock-on Greece.
Yes.
But yeah, I think you're right. We've seen this a number of times. I think TOE did it quite effectively in their matches recently, where they've come in and they've even kind of swapped left to right and crossed over and cut into the beam, and the sort of very cool-looking maneuvers when you watch the TAC views of it. In fact, I think we may have seen it ourselves covering the match. So you know, trying to sort amongst that guerrilla group is, you know, nigh impossible when they're at that range.
Yeah, it's impossible. Of course, just for all the viewers who are not used to fly in DCS, usually with the 16, you are able to track the enemy airframes around 80 miles out. Not any further than that, usually, okay? Just for you all to know. And of course, what that means, of course, that 14 Tomcat can track very, very long ways. Okay, we see that Green Reaper formation is starting to spread up. Let us check. So it seems like Green Reaper is just starting to form 2 flanks. So the top group is just trailing right, whereas the trailing group, so the leading group is trailing right, is turning right, and the trailing group is turning left right now.
Yeah, very slow separation here. There's no urgency about it. They're just tracking along at 30,000 feet, about 550 across the ground.
Yeah. Okay, let us check. So 81 with lock-on Greece. I'm going to. Okay, we have a first shot from Banana. That's 60-mile shot towards Green Reapers. Let us go with the missile and see how it goes.
Yeah, the missile is lofting well at the moment.
Yeah, but now it's doing strange thing as per usual. So right now, the missile seems to be tracking. I mean, I will be very surprised if we start the fight with a 60-mile shot from Cat, you know? No,
yeah, I don't expect this to hit with the caliber of pilots we have against here, but there's no harm putting it out there just to disrupt the formation and to you know, force their hand a little bit.
Yeah.
So you can see both elements cutting into a beam here. The initial one in the lead has cut west, and the one in the rear has now cut east. So that Phoenix shouldn't be a factor if they find that notch.
Yeah, so far seems not to be even tracking. So I think that missile just lost the track at all. So of course we can see that Green Reaper's competitive is just going for the notch, waiting for those 14 shots. They are just making Banana waste his precious Phoenixes that they can put Green Reaper competitive into a bad position. So far,
yeah, again, a very kind of a controlled defense here, which is good because you can see that the elements have only just slowly descended, nothing too drastic. They've dropped from 30,000 down to 25,000 on the west, and they've lost about 3,000 feet on the east side. So nothing that's not recoverable quickly.
Yeah, also we've seen along the matches that it's not that important. Of course, height, altitude is important, but in a altitude range between 25 plus until 35,000, that's more or less a good height. You know, you don't need that much height at all just to get things working out. Okay, so let us check. So far it seems that Green Reaper competitive is they are just still going for the notch, and the 81 plus Lock-on Grease they are just pushing from the middle. So far I do think that Green Reaper's competitive is looking to divide the team, you know, just divide them by the middle and just get this left their 81 right flank, get them sorted out with their I think they are going for a 3 versus 3. I think that's what is going on.
I think you're right. There's about 23 miles between the east and west elements of the 81st, and for the Grim Reaper's competitive folks, that's 35 miles. So they're not in good mutually supportive range of each other. And at this point, because Grim Reaper's competitor is still pushing out to the east, you know, you could see that change quickly. You know, throw Phoenix into that group, let them defend it, and have the rest of the 81st shift west again. I mean, but a lot of things could happen at this point.
Yeah, and by the way, guys,
long AMRAAM coming out from Tagari, by the way.
Okay.
25 miles.
So, and one thing, guys, it seems that the notifications for follow-ins and such is not working. I'm very sorry, guys. I'll check it out after the stream. So just for you all that are coming now, just checking it out. Sorry, guys, for the inconvenience.
Grim Reaper's competitive with their first Fox, 22 miles against Phantom in the Hornet. Phantom is relatively low. I think that was Signori who has sent that one. Sean B following up with another AMRAAM, again on Phantom, 20 miles. Okay, Sean B has more energy, 20,000 feet.
Okay, let's us ride with this situation over here, because on the left flank for Green Reapers, seems like everything's sorted out, no problem whatsoever. Of course, this
Johnny G has taken a cut from the left group of Grim Reapers, so they have split a little bit.
Okay, so far, Sin is just pushing the 18 from Phantom with his 18, just pushing it to cold. And left flank, they are just very, they have a lot of space now to navigate and decide if they want to push or not. Okay, one Phoenix front Skywalker from the back. I assume he has just shoot towards Sin B, but that's a 40-mile shot, while Sin B is just going cold.
Yeah, Sean B has just turned around there. I've drawn a line towards Sean B, and I think I'm pretty sure that's who it's on at the moment. So that probably won't cause much concern there.
No, not at all. So we have a situation where over our left flank, I think that Rook and Trojan are getting ready to attack Beer. I think that Rook is going to put... Okay, we have 120 from Penguin towards Trojan. That's a 20-mile shot. Trojan is trailing left to his right towards Beer. So let us ride with this missile and check how it is going on.
I think it's going uphill. I don't think that's really going to have much of a factor. It's going to start running out of energy in about 5 miles' time.
Yeah, and
Trojan just turned around.
Yeah, he's just turned around, went cold.
Johnny G, though, exchanging with Rook at 11 miles. This could be more tasty.
Yep, seems to be way more tasty. Let's check both.
Altitude 10,000 feet. both turning out.
Yeah, it seems that they are both just turning cold, getting the use of the mountains so far.
Yeah, no factors.
Yeah, no factors. So far everything is just going very neutral. We don't have anything way interesting going on. Okay, we have some finishes from Skywalker from the right flank towards Kilo Tangen, but he's just going cold. And 120 from Signore towards Banana or Phantom.
I think that Phoenix could be on Sean B. I'd almost hope at this point that he's put it on the hot bandit, so that the leading element think it's defeated. We've seen this happen a number of times in matches already.
Okay, but we've seen not okay. So right flank is going nuts right now. Left flank, of course, Grim Reaper are pushing the three members of 81 and Locon Grease, just they are turning cold. And this right flank, Signore is trying to push back 81 squadron over there. But so far...
Phoenix from Phantom, or from Banana on towards Signoria, I think. This is pretty close, so we're 3 miles away, if it can track.
If this one can track, then this one might be a kill, for sure.
No. Falling behind.
Yeah, it's not tracking at all. He lost his track. Okay, so so far we are seeing that the left flank is just... They are keeping them on taps, so no problem at all. But the right flank is the interesting area. We can see that now Phantom is pushing, but CMB has just sent a 120 towards him.
I'm getting close to Skywalker in the Tomcat.
Oh, you are totally right.
Getting right. I don't think he sees it.
No, he's not even seeing it.
Might have the legs.
Come on, run! Oh
my god, just
run!
put burners in! Burners!
Please, run! No!
It's gonna attach itself!
Come on, for reals! I cannot believe this one.
Close.
Yeah, that was way too close for comfort. Please, any one of you.
Trojan on Johnny G here, but I think Johnny G should be good running south. Signore with an AMRAM on Phantom. That is dangerous.
Yep, he's
on the right.
But it's still tracking. It's tracking. That 120 is tracking. That might be our first kill. Yeah, it is going to be our first kill. Okay, let us check how everything is going on. So far what we have is left flank is still keeping them at taps. We have Johnny G defending two missiles right now. One might have a bit of an opportunity to track. No, not energy at all whatsoever. So right flank, that's well, we have a finish towards Signore, towards CMB and Signore. No, but it's not tracking. It's going towards the mountains. Okay. So now the 14 Banana is just going cold because Green Reaper competitive are pushing them hard.
Trojan's being pincered on the west,
okay.
And he's about to get hit by an
Trojan
AMRAM.
going to get hit. It is going to get hit.
Oh, passed over, my apologies.
Yeah, I think it's going towards Tagari though. It is tracking Tagari. It is tracking Tagari, gents.
So that could be dangerous.
Yeah, it can be dangerous. Watch out. Watch out over there.
I think he's done enough.
He managed to defend that one. We'll go over there.
Lots of AMRAMs being used liberally here, to reuse a phrase from Community's Competitive.
Yeah.
Johnny G has put one on Tagari, who's trying to go for a notch. Penguin has foxed one up towards Rook, who's flying into it at the moment.
Let us ride with the missile. I think that Rook is trying to defend, but I'm not so sure he's going to make it out. Yeah, he managed to outrun the missile, but no, not yet, not yet. Not yet, Jens, not yet. Okay, he's outturning the missile. Good work over there, mate. Nice work. Okay, let us check the situation.
Skywalker narrowly defended one on the east.
Yeah, very close. Nice defense over there. So, 120 from Signore towards Banana right now, the right flank. So we also have a one finish from Banana towards Signore. I think he's just trying to punish Signore for coming way too close to there. But since that Banana just has turned cold, he's going to manage to outrun the missile. I mean, it's a 14, just hit partner, that's all.
Penguin with an AMRAM on Rook again from about 10 miles. SD10 sent back, but put into terrain. Trojan with a dangerous one, 5 miles on Bear.
Yeah, that's going to be a very complicated one to defend, that's all. Bear is tracking, that one is tracking, that's a hit from Trojan towards Bear. Sorry, I'm drinking my beer and I mix things up. Okay, so one thing is from Skywalker towards Signore, that's a 10-mile shot. And reminded, Phoenixes keep on burning for a long time, gents. But it's not tracking at all. So
Johnny G 8-mile AMRAAM onto Rook on the west.
So Rook is defending, seeing that he's going to manage to... yeah, he did manage to... No, it's still tracking, isn't it? It's still tracking. It's still tracking. This one might hit at... Still tracking. Come on, run! You can do it! Oh, we have one guy. Rook is down right now. Okay, let us check.
That is a 5-on-3, I think.
Yeah, we have a 5-on-3, that's right.
Penguin killed Trojan, I'm seeing, according to the chat log. We've missed that, I think, on the west side.
Yeah, you are right. Thank you for noting down. Cool, gents, you can see that I have Titan Fire with me. He's the one who can track anything at everything at once. I couldn't do this without him. So please, a shout out to him. So 120 from Takari towards Johnny G. They are just 10 miles out, but Johnny G is turning out cold, so it seems that it's going to be easily defeated so far. Now we have a more interesting situation coming up on the left and the right flank. Signori and 𝐋𝐈𝐒𝐄𝐒 are just pushing to Banana and Skywalker. So let us just go with missile. It's going towards Skywalker.
In trouble.
Yeah. Okay, that's a hit from Signori. And we also have... So Banana did manage to outrun the missile. Okay, we have a situation with the left flank. Zagari 120 towards pinging. And this one might hit. Okay, good kill, Takari over there. Nice work. So now we have a situation where we have on the left flank 1 versus 1. On the right flank we have a 3 versus 1. So I mean this one is looking really very nice for Grim Reaper's competitive, you know.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's just a 1-on-1 on the west, a 3-on-1 on the right. That Tomcat and Banana is in real trouble here. 𝐋𝐈𝐿𝐒 pressing in close.
Yeah, also Johnny G just coming in, trying to press Takari to the left flank. But Takari just coming out going hot towards Johnny G. I'm pretty sure that...
Ordnance check, we've got 2 AMRAAMs on board on both of them on the west.
So 120 from Johnny G, that's a 7-mile shot. Let us just go right with the missile. Takari is just trying to defend that missile. He's defending as hard as he can. But the missile is still tracking. This might be the kill. This might be it.
𝐋𝐈𝐿𝒒 on the east has just killed Banana and the Tomcat.
Okay guys, so that means that we only have one guy, and that's Takari over the left flank, who has just defended the 120 right now. Okay, so now what the situation is very simple. What we have is 4 Grim Reaper's competitive members just going towards Takari. So this round seems to be almost over, unless Takari managed to surprise us. Because Takari is just running with 2 120s, and that's all, plus guns, of course.
Johnny G only has 1 on board, so if Takari can defend that, he may get a chance to put some offensively. Sean B is coming in to help 20 miles out. Also has 2 AMRAAMs on board. Looks like Signori and 𝐋𝐈𝐿𝒒 are quite low.
Yeah.
Signori's Winchester, 𝐋𝐈𝐿𝒒 is with 2. It's only a matter of time, though, it really feels like here.
Yeah, it seems to be a matter of time right now. So Johnny G is
interesting. It looks like 𝐋𝐈𝐿𝒒 is just tracking, by the way, to the north of the bubble.
I assume he's just getting ready to run as soon as possible, you know. So we can see on the right screen, we can see the trail from Johnny G just coming in hot for Takari. They are very close by, and I assume this is going to develop into a very close quarter fight if Takari managed to defend this first 120 from Johnny G. Fox 3 from Johnny G towards Takari. Will he manage to defend? Okay, that's a no. So gents, that means that Grim Reaper Competitive have managed to kill all members from 81 plus Local Greece in this first round. And now, gents, we all know that they have to land over the enemy airbase. So for all of you gents who doesn't remember the rules, who are new to this tournament, now Grim Reapers Competitive have to track north and land over the enemy airbase Kerman. So of course that means that Grim Reaper competitive must have managed correctly their fuel in order to get there, because it's not only about killing, it's also about making the trouble of 75 miles in this mission. From Bullseye, that's 192 miles from Bullseye towards the enemy airbase. So for all of you gents,
Signori is already up at 32,000 feet, so has a good head start on climbing here.
Yeah, that's not going to be any problem at all. So of course, gents, for all of you who just play PvE missions, what they are flying is just a 184 miles plus PvP combat in the middle. So when you guys, if you fly PvE and you struggle with your fuel management, remember this situation. These two teams are fighting for their lives just in the middle, making it very, very hard. They are just wasting lots of fuel, making it very, very complicated to do a proper fuel management in order to do this long travel back to the enemy base. So while we wait for Grim Reapers to go back to the enemy airbase, how about we do a general overview of how the mission went. So first, what we saw, of course, the Grim Reaper competitive just took off, and as usual, they just went from the middle, over waypoint 9 for them. That's just before entering the bubble. They started to spread 3 to the left, 3 to the right, whereas from TFS81 with Green Reaper, sorry, yeah, we are going to mix and match the names a lot of tonight. Lock-on Grease, they were coming more in a more dispersed area. It wasn't looking like they knew that much what they were going to do before entering the bubble. At least that's what my sensation of what we were seeing. Do you have anything that you've seen interesting in Titanfire for this first round?
I'm just kind of looking over the kills and seeing kind of what happened on both sides. So let me just run through this in order first and give a little summary at the end.
Perfect.
So we had, from the Grim Reaper's competitive side, Signori got the kill on Phantom of the 81st. Then 81st Trojan got a kill on Bear, that was over on the west side. Johnny G of Grim Reaper's competitive got a kill then on Rook. I think that was on the west side as well. Rook had been flying a Jeff. Then Signori got a kill on Skywalker in the Tomcat. That again I think was on the east side of the bubble. Tagari of Lock-on Grease, flying for the 81st here, then got a kill on Penguin on the west. Kilo Tangent on the east side of the bubble then got a kill on Banana. Banana was flying a Tomcat. And then to end it, as we saw, Johnny G and the Viper for Grim Reaper's competitive got the kill on Tagari. So coming away then with who got what, Tagari got 2 kills, so all of the kills for TFS81. Signori got 2 kills, Penguin got 1 kill, Kilo Tanyan got 1 kill, and Johnny G then came over with 2 as well.
Thank you to the Titanfire for catching up with all the kills. And that's why, gents, you have to have a great co-host for this event. A big shout out to Titanfire, who has joined me for tonight's stream almost a last call. I mean, just a few hours before starting the stream, he just made the time to join us for tonight's fight between TFS81 and Grim Reaper's competitive.
I think thinking about what we saw during the round, you know, we saw a little bit of standoffishness, if that is even a word, from both sides initially. Everyone was very cautious, you know, everybody kind of kept their distance. But as the missiles started, you know, the ranges started closing and missiles started being thrown around more, I think we saw more missiles being thrown out from the Grim Reaper's competitive team. At one point, I remember seeing like 3 or 4 on the left, 3 or 4 on the right, blue missiles all tracking north. And I think this bought them the time and space to push in. Watching a few of the missiles chasing down the Tomcats, and similarly, I think, chasing the Jeffs, it just seemed like the defenses almost weren't just sharp enough. You know, the missiles weren't given the respect of, this is actually very close. You know, like that AMRAAM on the Tomcat, I can't remember who the pilot was. Good God, we've seen some close missiles, but wow.
Yeah. I mean, please, guys, if any of you just know the time frame where we had that 120 flying with the Tomcat in close formation, please, I beg of you, clip it because I want to see it once again. I want
Oh,
to
it has been done. I'm actually just looking at it here.
Oh, really?
It has been clipped by Midnight Mare. Thank you for that. 12 minutes ago. It's in the stream chat. I'll send you that on Discord. And it almost looks like it's going to just attach itself to a rail on the Tomcat.
Yeah.
It's perspective, but it's funny.
It's perfect. Okay, thank you. Later on, we'll share it with both teams so they have their good offs. Okay, gents, so for all of you, as a reminder, for all of you who doesn't know how this goes, now we are waiting for Green Reapers Competitive just to land over Kerman Air Base. Once they land and just get ready, then we'll just do a bit of a waiting time while we'll wait just for a sec, waiting for the server to be restarted by both teams. And in between, of course, we have a 2-minute break, followed by just a bit of chit-chat, just talking about what we see in this first round. And of course, as a reminder for all of you guys, remember, when the match finishes, the stream is still not finished at all. But it means that after the match, we'll be doing an interview with both teams. We'll be interviewing both team leaders. That's Beer and Signore for Green Reapers competitive sides, and Banana for a TFS81 side. So be sure to keep on here until the end, because not only will we be asking questions to them, but you'll get your chance to also ask questions to both team leaders, so that you will get to talk to them for a bit of time. So be sure to stick up to the finish moment, guys.
Yeah, it's a lovely format, that, by the way, Deliberator. I've made this comment before in streams of both, you know, joining you as a co-host and indeed in my own streams of the match, that you keep raising the bar for the rest of us covering these tact matches, and I think that's a lovely point that we should probably do more of, to be honest. It's a lovely kind of after the, you know, we've seen it go through, and it's a bit of interaction both far. I'm just going to interrupt this quickly because Kilo Tangent has foxed on the AWACS. We're into the meta meme here.
2 Fox 3 to the AMRAM, so Kilo just wants to add to his kill count for sure. Okay, so...
Yep, I'm not tracking that one.
Please do. Okay, fine, so we are just 50 miles out from Kerman, so please, Green Reaper competitive, just give us a good formation landing. Please, please,
yeah,
please.
4 of them. I don't think they're going to have fuel issues here, to be honest. Certainly the 2 in the lead, and getting some nice visuals coming in here would be a nice way to wrap it up. It's worth pointing out again for people who may not be familiar with the format, or as you're saying, you know, I've seen a tact match before. The rules are, as you've been saying, to land at the opposing enemy's airfield, so it introduces this fuel management dynamic. But it also then means that it gives the other team a kind of a downtime to regroup, and it's a point that Bullet was reiterating earlier in Tricker's stream covering the match earlier today, and I think it's one worth repeating, that you know, the team who have come away, you know, not victorious, have a chance to actually debrief, take a breath, and say, right, what worked, what didn't, and kind of get their thoughts together. You know, it's within their remit if they want to waive that and say you don't need to land, we can just get on with the next round. But typically speaking, most teams take that time because it's constructive to them.
Yeah. I mean, of course, that's what I mean. I think we all have seen this all this tournament. But by the way, you guys, just a reminder, this tournament has not finished yet. We still have a few more matches coming up. The tournament is scheduled to finish let me remember. So we still have this week, the following one, and the next one. We still have 1 more month of TACT21 tournament, by the way, guys. So that means that we are going to enjoy this kind of format for a way more time. And of course, guys, just for all of you to know, this is just the first installment, and we'll be having a few more tournaments. We are expecting to have one more. Please, of course, thank you for 64 Squadron for organizing this beautiful tournament, and this become a very nice opportunity for all of participating squadrons to just start in a PvP environment, a very friendly environment, by the way. and thank you guys for doing all the heavy lifting for every one of us to enjoy. So now just been oh, they are going for a formation landing.
Yeah,
lovely,
it's nice to see.
lovely.
We've definitely talked about this in previous streams. We want to see 2 aircraft come down together. Now it looks like they will do it.
Perfect. Of course, just for you gents to remember, they need to land safely and land and control their frame in the ground in order to count as a win for them. Okay. So remember, it hasn't
we did of course
happened.
have one. We had one instance where it didn't.
Yeah, it was the 17 from ETF, wasn't it?
One trick pony against the 64th.
Oh, really?
Yeah, their first round of that match, one trick pony kind of pulled off what I suppose a lot of people consider almost a surprise upset in defeating the 64th, but then didn't have the fuel to make it back.
Oh,
to
that's
the
right.
2 base, so it counted as a draw. And then sadly for one trick pony, rounds 2 and 3 went to the 64th, so the 64th ended up winning that match.
You're totally right. Okay, so we have the 2 from information from Johnny G and Simbi that is getting ready for the. Oh really? My English tonight. Okay, I think I should continue the stream in Spanish. I'm going to be way better. No, we're always guys. No worries, guys. We keep talking English and you're in English, unless preferíais que hable en español. Because no, I think that's not going to be a thing for all of you guys.
It certainly isn't for me.
Are you sure? I mean, it would be that way you can learn some languages while we are waiting for both teams to land. You know?
Don't make me break out my pidgin Irish.
Please, yes, do.
No,
I want to hear your Irish accent. Okay, so of course, Wind Reaper Competitive are just taking a bit of time lining up. They are almost on the final approach to the runway, to Kerman Air Base. Okay, let's just have a good view of both landing angles from the runway and for the airframes, because these formation landings are beautiful for us who are doing the film during the match.
Well, it's one of those things with DCS, you know, that we all try to put in a little bit of airmanship into our flying, so it's nice to see when squadrons make that effort in these sort of situations. You know, show off some of that airmanship. It's there to be enjoyed.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, this tournament overall is just for enjoyment of all the parts participating, on all of you viewers, of course. So, well, who doesn't love some formation landing? That's the
Kilo
question.
Tangent starting to tighten up here with Signore. A little bit wide in the initial and is overtaking, so we'll take what we can get.
Yeah, we'll take what we can get. I mean,
could be tidier.
Yeah. Now we are complaining that they are doing what we want and they are complaining. Come on!
I can just see the pair of us at the end of the runway holding up scores.
Well,
8, 7, 9.
well, of course, I hope that this time around we don't get like last time. We get 1-8, 1-16 fence in on the runway. You know, gents. But so far, it seems that this one is just.
Really controlled landing, so that
very
goes
good
to the Grim Reapers.
Yeah, definitely. Wind Reapers Competitive has won this first round. Congratulations, gents. Okay, so we are just going to wait for the rest of the team members to land. They are just finishing up, getting into the final approach.
Unfortunately, for style points, they came in singletons.
Yeah, come on, guys. I know you can do better.
And then kissed off nicely, but.
I mean, do you think we can talk with 64 Squadron that are the organizers and tell them, please add a rule so all teams have to do formation landing? I would love to have that one around. I mean, that would be like some sort of style point. That would be interesting to have, you know?
Bonus point.
Bonus point. Okay, you not only have to kill all the enemies and fuel match everything and land on the enemy airbase, just very short on fuel, you also have to land correctly and on formation. That's part of our machine, come on.
Alright, Grim Reaper's competitive just taxiing off, so the server should be coming down any moment now.
Yeah, I assume that they are
ready for the next round.
Yes, so gents, be sure to stick around. We'll be having a minor break, estimate around 5 minutes, and we'll be back with the second round between TFS81 and Green River Competitive. See you in a few minutes, gents. Hello once again, fine gents. We are back to round 2 of TFS81 versus Green Reapers competitive. This first round we've seen the victory of Green Reapers against 81, and in this case we managed to see 4 Green Reapers member teams to land over the enemy airbase over Kerman, where they are now starting their engines up and getting ready to taxi. Of course, last match we've seen a very interesting fight where we've seen the left flank being worked by 3 team members from each side, and I mean, that's something we don't see that often, seeing 3 formation flight for each side, you know? That is not something I've seen so often in this tournament so far.
Yeah, during the break I've been trying to think through, you know, what we saw in the last round and what we might see differently from the sides in this one, and one thing jumped out at me that it was some of the thoughts I had before this match started, thinking back to the original 2 matches from these squads against the 104th. And one thing we saw from TFS81 against the 104th was that they were, you know, a little bit offensive and kind of throwing missiles around early, while the 104th sat back and just absorbed it and let it come, and then flipped the tables and went aggressive. And similarly, I think we saw something from the Green Reapers competitive against the 104th, where, you know, again, they were kind of cautious defensive and then kind of got in the fight. And in this match here, I think we saw the same trait from both teams in that the 81st were kind of sitting back a little bit more. They were throwing some missiles out, but not the same volume as previously. And the ones that did throw, for example, the Phoenixes on that east side, tended not to do a huge amount. Like, I'm just looking at the kill sheet again from the first round. Neither Tomcat actually managed to kill.
Yeah.
And I think just the Grim Reaper's competitive folks, you know, just got to a point where they then started pressing hard and overwhelmed it.
Yeah.
So from the 81st, like, what I'd like to see them do this time is to, you know, be a little bit more aggressive on both missile use and closing the range.
Yeah, I mean, we can all learn from our previous fight from TFW against Torneo Squadron, where we lost many missiles because we didn't employ them at all. So Jens, please learn from all mistakes. Use your missiles. That's all I have to say. And of course, congratulations for Torneo Squadron for winning of previous fight, and to Bravo, who won the group fight and the group G. And they will be representing our group for the next group stage. So while we are waiting for both teams to get ready, let us check a bit more about Grim Reaper guys, because they did send me their bio, so well, we can get to know them a bit better while we are waiting. Let me bring my notes up, and just for all you know, Jens, we have lots and lots of information to work around with, and this is something I love. So Bear, sorry, my pronunciation. Bear he did grow up over Pretoria, South Africa, and is married to an Italian, and moved to Toronto, northern Italy, and now is living in Brussels, Belgium. So he's quite a traveler, and he's been managing the team for his second year now. Signore from Reaper 2 is living from California, USA, and is mostly is an experienced competitive pilot, and is the co-leader from the Green Reaper competitive team. CMB has joined the TAC tournament just before the start, and interesting, he's just flying with a head tracking. Well, that's all. Johnny P from Germany, and it's a mercenary on loan to them from What the Fuck, probably with PTF. So, well, they have to give him back after this tournament, so it seems. So Macabo is also German, flies for BR, joined them in the beginning of this first season, and is new to competitive flying. Kilo Tangent is, I think I've butchered that one. Kilo Tangent, but more or less. If I've butchered your name, please, sorry. Yes,
Tangent.
Tangent, thank you.
Kilo Tangent.
Thank you. So he's the youngest of the team members, and has joined the team beginning this season, and is new to competitive flying. And of course, his first love is the Tomcat, but they force him to fly a proper jet, and he's also improving at rapid pace. So Jens, well, it seems that the 16 is better for than the Tomcat, for Green Reaper competitive at least. So take note of that. Okay, so both teams are ready to taxi. So Titan 5, whenever you want, please send the guys taxiing to the respective side.
Roger, I don't see the TFS81 guys saying they're ready to taxi.
Oh, yes, you are right. Sorry, my bad, guys. I misread the chat.
Well, Grim Reaper's competitive are indeed ready, so we will have them taxiing any moment.
For sure. In the meantime, we can just look at the beautiful liveries made for both teams. I mean, this is something I love seeing. As we were talking before, these fights are not only for the sake of the fight. It is also made for the airmanship. It's also made. It's more than just a fight. That's why we are all together tonight enjoying this match between TFS81 and Green Reapers competitive. And well, if you are going to participate in any kind of tournament, better look good. I'd rather die in style than die just feeling naked for all of you guys.
Well, both sides will be taxiing now momentarily.
Perfect. So gents, get ready, we are going to see both teams taxiing in just a short moment. So, let us check also what the formation for both teams. Of course, Green Reaper competitive, we all know that they are going to go with a beloved 16. That's no surprise at all. But I'm more interested to check out what 81 is going to bring us tonight. So
well, I'm afraid the short answer is more of the same. In
really?
the sense of the exact same loadout and composition of aircraft as in the last round. I've just been jumping through the jets here and I'm not seeing any changes. We still have 2 Vipers coming from the 2 lock-on Greece folks. They've got all AMRAAMs, 3 bags. The Hornet is here again with the 10 AMRAAM single bag. Rook is there in the Jeff in the standard 4 SD10 to PL5, I think, 3 bags.
Yep.
And the 2 Tomcats with all Phoenixes and 2 Sidewinders.
So well, gents, now you know that the loadout are pretty much standard for all the fights what we are seeing all over all over this tournament.
Yeah, the other thing that was occurring to me as I've just been thinking through again, like what we saw in the last round and what we might see in this round, having the 2 Tomcats on the one flank, I wonder whether it's a wise move or whether they should really split them between the 2, because I'm just not sure whether they had the effect they were looking for in terms of their effectiveness.
Well, that's a question.
What are your thoughts, Liberator?
Well, that's the thing. That's a question they have to check themselves and answer themselves, because that's not an easy answer. If you get 2 Tomcats on the same flank, then you can push harder that flank from way longer ranges, and that's something that is a very interesting tactic to see. But of course, what it means that when they get into close quarters, like the fact that 16 is best suited compared to the 14, not in the not turning, I mean, but in a 10-mile range. Because 16 are using the AMRAAMs and they are not using at all any M9M or P like the Tomcat is using. They are best suited for these kind of ranges, where the 14s they are over range in the sense of if they use the Phoenixes, then those Phoenixes are not capable of turning whatsoever into the enemy, and the A9s, they are very, very, very short range compared to what a 120 can do.
Yes, however, having a Tomcat with 2 M9s left at the end of the fight when missiles become, scarce, actually can be a game changer. We've actually seen it a few times in some of the earlier matches in this competition, where the Tomcat keeping those 2 M9s far the end has been decisive. Similarly, it's interesting because some of the earlier matches in TACT, the Tomcats were the deciding factor with Phoenixes, that they'd come away as the big heavy hitters with the kills. And even just today, I think in the match that Tricker streamed, I'm trying to remember who that was actually playing. Let me check the cheat sheet quickly.
Well,
Tricker
it was me against Toro.
Yes, yourself, the Toro.
I know. You should know that. You were watching the stream before. I mean, you told me, okay, good fight, and I was like, okay, well, we got our ass kicked, So, well.
Yeah. So I think that the broad stroke of that was, I think the Tomcats were a factor in that match, where we've seen that in some of the earlier matches. We've also seen matches where they haven't been a factor, and I think it goes down to a couple of things. It's how well, of course, the pilot can fly the aircraft, but also having a human Rio is a big deal. Jester, as we keep saying, is just rubbish. Yeah.
Well, now I cannot say anything against Jester, because I did eat 2 Phoenixes today, because they were just flying with Jester, by the way. So, well, now I cannot say anything against 4 scenes without human Rio at all. I'm not allowed to do so. But well, Jens.
Well, I can.
Well, you can. I cannot.
It's easy for me to say when I'm not flying in the competition. So.
Yeah, well, it's easy for you for sure. I mean, that's why you are not fights in the competition. I mean, I would love to see you fighting someday in TACT21 tournament, by the way.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
But I mean, I haven't. Are you a PvP guy or are you a PvE guy, by the way?
All PvP. Yeah,
really?
PvP all the way. Yeah, you usually find me skulking around on the 104th server, sometimes on Blue Flag, sometimes in Cold War. But yeah, it's mostly all about the PvP for me, and air-to-air. I like doing strike occasionally, I like doing helicopters occasionally. I bounce between aircraft a lot. I talk about this actually quite a bit on my stream when I am flying, that people say, what's your favourite aircraft? It's like, well, I jump between things.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean,
depends on my mood.
Yeah, it depends on me. For example, I'm quite the opposite side. Well, not entirely the opposite side. I've been all my life a PV fighter. I mean, I've been always flying PV, and even more interestingly, I've been when I started flying with IL-246. So yeah, quite a long way. I was mainly a bomber guy. I mean, I remember just flying these big formations with B-17s, B-25s, 𝐓𝐔𝐄𝐒, just going around bombing all cities. I mean, it was very fun. That's why I love some good formation flying. And I hope to see some good formation flying today with this match between 81 and Grim Reapers that we have today. So both teams seems to be ready, isn't it?
Not yet. I think the Grim Reapers competitive have yet to arm their aircraft again. Same thing as we're talking about in the first round. The done thing with the Viper tends to be to wait until the last moment to get every drop of fuel that you can get and avoid those fuel tank bugs.
Yes.
The TFS81 and the 2 lock-on grease folks are sitting on the runway at Bandar Abbas.
That's it.
But have not called ready yet, so we're just waiting for both sides to actually ready up.
So guys, that means that we are almost ready to take off. So yes, we will need just 1 more minute for all teams to get the airplane sorted out, loaded up, and we'll start in just a sec.
I love the comment, by the way, in the stream chat from Fat Blastard. Hello, Blastard. Blastard always comes along a lot of the streams of folks these days, and he says, DCS community is the best group of crazies, and I just love that statement, you know. Again,
yeah.
We talk about it all the time, that it's a small community, it's a niche game, it's a niche kind of community of itself, and everything that we can all do to support each other and promote these types of events and pilots and squadrons, the better the community is. You know, the more accessible we make this to people who've never watched one of these before, or maybe interested in partaking in one, or making a group and taking part. You know, one of the big things in TACT, as we've talked about many times now across a lot of these matches, is we're seeing, you know, squadrons pop up who never would have flown before.
Yeah.
And it's just a group of people get together and go, let's fly. That's brilliancy. We need more of this type of thing in the community.
Yeah, I mean, that's all. I mean, as you well said, this is a very niche community, very niche game. So, well, let's gather up. I mean, all for it. I mean, I'd love to see events and missions where we are like more 100 plus guys flying together, all coordinated at least. I'd love to see that at least once in my life. It would take a lot of work, by the way, but that's doable. In fact, I don't know how to do it. Oh, I know how to do it. I just need a bit of time. I might. Yeah, I know how to do it. I can do it. Well, sorry, I'm digressing. Sorry, my guys. So my mind just usually when I get an idea, I just keep on building on that, and well, sorry, my mind just doing its own thing as per usual. Okay, so Grim Reapers are ready to take off, and we are waiting for 81. Oh, yeah, we are waiting for 81 to get ready to be ready to take off. That's all. Oops, sorry for the camera movement. My bad. Okay, that's sorted.
Alright, both sides are ready. Shall I give them a countdown?
Yes, please. Do the honors. Two, one, go! So now engines are ramping up, and we are going to see some good fighting right now. Just a sec. So both teams are starting up the engines. We have a pair from 81 just running down the runway. And we also have a pair from Grim Reapers competitive running on the right screen of the right now. Let us see the other side of you, because I love seeing airplanes taking off from the runways and getting all ramped up. I mean, I think we all love and enjoy our engines ramping up and just roaring all around, don't we?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's one of the beautiful things about DCS these days, that, you know, you can just watch aircraft flying around and just sit back and enjoy it.
I mean,
doesn't necessarily all have to be about what they do when they're in the air. It just looks amazing these days.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen with the last updates from Eagle Dynamics, they've managed to do a superb work with the sound area in DCS altogether. And that's something I'm very, very happy. For someone like me who just enjoys this sound like at all, I love my sounds. Then, well, I'm more than pleased that they took the time and effort to do so. And now
it's nice to see it get the love and attention that it deserves. Obviously, in these matches, we see cloudless skies, but the introduction of those new clouds, the VR issues aside, have been amazing in my opinion. I think I've never seen this game look better. And when you fly along and you see patches of the ground in shadow and other patches in light, and you transition between the two, incredible.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
So Eagle Dynamics, very fine job with this last update for reals. And we are seeing an interesting situation over here where what we are seeing is that Grim Reapers, they are just having 4 airplanes still on the ground. I think they are going for a different tactic entirely for this round.
Yeah, I was about to comment on the same thing. We see 4 of them remaining behind the lead 2 ship, are 12 miles out now, and they're still holding. They're just rolling now, so we'll actually see a separation this time.
Yeah, I'm interested. I mean, I know that Grim Reapers love doing their different tactics for each round. I do know that, and I'm very surprised with this one because we are seeing that they have on takeoff 15 miles separation between the first pair and the second one, and I think we are going to see something very, very similar for between the second and the third one. And of course, for the 81 plus lock-on grease, they are doing, this time they are doing something a bit different. Now they are running on pairs all time along. And this time we are seeing 6 Trojan with Phantom, 16 with an 18 on the front, a 16 with a 14 on the middle, and on the rear, 14 with 17. Now of course, well, we all know that from Grim Reaper competitive, they are just going all with 16s. Oh wow, this is going to be an interesting tactic to see. So the first pair had split up, Sin has turned right, Signore has turned left, and I expect that Johnny G and Macabo are just going to do more or less the same. I mean, why wouldn't you? You are just going to do this,
Yeah, we'll see what they end up at. It may just be 2 ladders, which I think is really what we saw coming from TFS81 in the last round, come to think of it, coming out of the north. But certainly the 2 lead elements here, Signore and Sean B, they're got 15 miles apart now. Sean B at 31,000 feet, Signore at 26, so they're getting up there. An interesting thing as well from Grim Reapers competitive, both in this match and the previous one, is they've tended not to go up to the ludicrous territory. They've not gone up to 40,000 feet Mach 1.5 like you see, the Viper meme is at the moment. And they've fought it out in those kind of mid-ranges, so a little bit higher than before, but when it came into the fight, I think they again descended down to around the 25,000, so we'll just see how this plays out.
Yeah, I mean, we see the last pair of Grim Reaper competitive just taking off on the small right corner screen. And it seems that 81 formation, are they splitting up? So, Rook is moving to the right now. I think it's separating it's making separation between him and the Tomcat. At least it seems to be that.
Third element are rolling, by the way.
Yes, that's it. So let us have both views of both teams at one screen so we know what they are doing right now.
So it's about 15 nautical miles between the first pair of Grim Reapers competitive to the second pair, and again about 15 nautical miles from that second pair to the third pair. There's much tighter cluster of elements or of ships coming out from TFS81. They're only about 10 miles front to back.
Yep.
So a lot yet to develop to see where they go or what positions they take.
But that's one thing, when you fly all together and clamp it up, then it's way better to confuse the enemy. At least at the starting situation. But then when everything is developing, then everything is sorted out. But I'm
it's interesting that because as we commented in the last round, that was exactly what GRC did. You know, they kept tight as 2 3-ship fix all the way into the bubble, and then kind of went east and west and then crossed again. And this time they're just making it easy to sort out. You know, there's plenty of time for them to change this setup before they actually get into combat. But as of now, it's almost like they're flying each other's tactics from the previous round.
Yeah, I mean, of course, Grim Reapers is going for a very different approach. I mean, just having two alone guys from the front, 2 guys in the middle, and 2 guys in the rear. I mean, Sin B and Signore are going to have to face off against the entire force of NT1 and Lock-on Grease combined, you know, and that's something I'm very interested to see how it develops.
I think we know they're not going to. I mean, Sean B and Signore, they're not going to go into a 6 ship. They'll go to about 60 to 70 miles. They'll draw a shot or 2, and they'll either go into a beam or turn cold and regroup into whatever their final formation will be. You know, I don't think we'll actually see a 6-on-2. That's just wouldn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we expect. That's way more expectable for sure. But I'm very interested to see if the 14s are going to manage to take to do any kind of chip shots and take any member of Green Reaper competitive down the sky just this first round. This is start of the first round.
Yeah, I'm expecting to see a long Phoenix. Looking through the parameters here of some of them, we've got 2 astronauts going up to the 40,000s at the moment, a Viper and a Tomcat. You know, the GRC guys are kind of settled at 33 and 34,000 feet between Sean B and Signore, but they're still a good distance. We've got 76 miles, so plenty of time for this situation to change again.
Yeah, I mean, I was expecting to see each Tomcat to go towards each contact, but it seems that both are turning to the left flank entirely. At least that it seems.
So the second element from GRC are staying together, by the way, as they enter the bubble there at Whiskey 9, and the third element have split. So we've got a little almost like an X formation as you look down on it between all those elements.
Yeah, you're probably right. I assume that what they are going to do is just to have pinging cover Sim B, BR work with Signore, and then Johnny G and Macabu just work in the center area trying to cover both flanks. I think that's how it's going to develop, at least on the initial part.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll expect to see a pretty standard kind of a grinder, I suspect, between Sean B and Signore. Draw the TFS81 people in if they will give chase.
Well, I mean,
but they have a wide spread between. I mean, there's a good 50 nautical miles between Sean B and Signore. So they're quite isolated from each other, and there's a good 30 nautical miles.
We have our first Phoenix from Banana towards Sim B on the wall, 60-mile shot. So now we'll see if Banana managed to take down Sim B. It's going to be.
It's not going to happen. Again, like, you know, he's going to see that launch. He's already turning left. He's descending down. He's going to start defending that. He's just going to look for the notch. And we're seeing already Sean B and Signore waiting for that shot, drawing it out, and they're just turning into each other now. Yeah.
So Sim B and Signore, they are just going for the clank, for the notch. Sorry. And seeing that Sim B just has that his notch, they are just working it out. Let us ride with the Phoenix. And it's still tracking. So the Phoenix is still tracking, by the way.
He's not in the notch yet.
Yeah. Well, I would be surprised if we have a CMB taken down from Banana Missile.
The lock is being held, presumably.
Yeah, it is.
He's just getting into the notch now, I think. So it'll probably be a late RWR, but he knows it's coming.
Yeah. It's still tracking, by the way. Okay, CMB. Okay, he knows it's coming. He's defending right now the missile. He's just turning out cold, running for his life. I mean, this Phoenix is still very fast.
Not your dad here.
Who died? Yeah. You think he's going to die? Sin is going to manage it out. Yeah, he did manage to defend that one.
It's pretty close, but he's defended it.
Well, yeah, we can see the missile just coming down.
In time.
Yeah. Close enough. Oh, it annoys me when we have this right over here. Okay, sorry guys, well, we have one missile on the screen permanently. So
yeah, me too.
yeah, that's something that happens from time to time. So Eagle Dynamics, please fix. This is totally unplayable. That's all, guys. This is a small fix. We hope to see that soon enough.
So I'm expecting we'll see a AMRAAM launch from Phantom in the Hornet on the west edge of TFS81 shortly. Currently up very high, descending, picking up some speed. It's about 30 miles out to Sean B.
Yeah, well, I think Trojan is pushing hard. Okay, Skywalker finished towards CMB, but of course CMB just turning out cold right now, so that one is not going to be any problem whatsoever. That's a 17-mile shot. Well, that one could be a bit of a problem though. That's a 30-mile shot. Of course, we have the finish is just burning fuel like a madman. We all know that the finish just it's
so
way
too
too fast.
Initial of the grinder, by the way. Sean B and Signore both turned cold at the same time. We've got Johnny G and Macabo starting to turn. Looks like they're going to follow Sean B and Signore and possibly just draw these missiles in. Tagari is launching an AMRAAM, that's about 25 miles. Big AMRAAM from the west side from Penguin on Phantom, 33 nautical miles. Penguin's descending down through 30,000, so it's a good loft. That AMRAAM's at 52,000 feet and still climbing.
Yeah,
so this is going to have energy.
We have also two launches from Beer toward Trojan and Tagari, and 36 miles shots.
Yeah, Phantom needs to be careful here. I think Phantom, he's going to be in trouble if he doesn't start defending. That's only 12 miles out now and closing fast.
Yeah, it is.
That's 1,600 knots, passing down through 45,000 feet on an AMRAAM, and he's still flying straight into it.
Yeah, he is.
In fact, we can see him in the contrails in front of the missile.
Well, he's now defending, like, his life depends on it.
It does.
It does.
I think he's left it too late.
Come on, guys, you can do it. No, he's not.
No,
okay, he cannot defend that one.
He wanted to turn, he needed a notch.
Yeah, he needed the notch, for sure.
So first kill.
First kill of the second round.
Big kill from Penguin there on the west.
Yeah, nice work putting that one to work, mate. Nice work. So okay, we have a 120 from Tagari towards Sinorias. We have also BR is putting down some Fox 3s towards Tagari. One has not tracked it at all. BR with one more 120 towards Tagari, mile 20. And we also have on left flank finished from Skywalker towards Johnny G. 60-mile shot. That one might be very interesting to track, because if it tracks, then that one can be a very work.
Trying to get the notch here against an AMRAAM. It's just past him.
Good call. Okay, Johnny G out call from the Phoenix.
It's a 15-mile shot. This could still be close.
Yeah.
Johnny G is 11,000 feet. That Phoenix is lofted 14,000. It's going to lose speed rapidly here, but Johnny G needs the notch.
But I think the missile is not tracking. It's not tracking at all the missile. He did manage to miss the missile. Good work over there. Okay, so Tagari is pressing Bear. Bear is very close to the limit. Just all you guys remember, if you go out of the combat area, you cannot go back in. Just all you remember, okay? So 120 from Trojan towards Signore to put him defensive. 120 from Macabo towards Trojan. He's just turning out cold. It's no problem at all. Okay, we have a situation with the right flank where we have Beer just fighting right now against Tagari. 120 from Tagari. He is coming. No, okay. Beer is taken down by Tagari.
They're going to trade.
Yeah, they did trade. Yeah, they did trade. So for all you viewers, what that means is that they've killed themselves. The two of them are taken down. So finish from Skywalker to Johnny G, mile 10. Johnny G 120 towards Skywalker, mile 10. So let us ride with that Phoenix to see if Johnny G managed to defend that one. Because that missile is running very fast toward Johnny G. Johnny G is not so fast at all. And the missile seems to be still tracking. It's tracking. Yeah, so we have...
Down.
It's down. One more down. Oh gosh, this run is going really, really fast. I love it. So, what more we have? Okay, Trojan is in the middle. He's alone. Rook is turning right, trying to protect Trojan, so Grim Reapers doesn't outrun them. So 120 from Macabo, from 120 from Trojan. So we have a 120 from Pinging from the center area towards Trojan.
This is a 4v3 at the moment. So the 81st guys really need to stay alive here.
Yeah, I hope they do.
Oh, big kill there from Trojan on Macabo.
Nice work, mate. Okay, 120 from Rook towards pinging. Okay, so Trojan has managed to defeat this missile. It doesn't have enough energy. Okay, we have a one finish from Skywalker towards CMB. Let us watch this one. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, Phoenix back in reply. Gonna have to find that notch immediately. But that's almost lazy defense from the Tomcat, I feel.
Yeah, but I think
he's go for the notch.
The 120 goes stupid. He's not tracking at all.
Oh, he put himself in the ground.
Okay,
Skywalker's down.
Oh,
but
so
also the Tomcat found. We're down to a 2v2.
2v2. Okay, so Tomcat did crash to the ground, wasn't it?
Yep, that was a CFIT.
Okay, so guys, we now have a 2 vs 2 situation. 81 versus Green Reapers. So 80 Rook and Trojan versus Pingin and Signori. We have 120 from Pingin, but Rook is turning out goal and seeing that he managed to defend this one.
Rook needs to survive this.
Come on, Rook, you can do this, mate.
Missile has a lot of energy.
No, he can. He's going to hit this one. He's going to die. Yep. Good kill,
again,
mate.
Turn cold. That's 2v1 now.
Yeah, we have a 2v1 of this area.
Trojan
120 from Signori.
Missiles. Signori has 4 missiles.
Okay, Trojan,
Penguin
you have
3.
to defend this one. Fox 3 from Trojan. But now he's trying to defend. He's trying to outrun the missile.
Not your die. Not your die.
Not your die, mate. Come on. It's still tracking. It's still tracking. Oh.
Didn't notch.
Well, guys, that's it. I'm afraid that 81 it has been taken out from commission. Well, so of course, as before, now we have to. Oh, but he did manage to kill one member from Green Reapers. Now we only have Pingin alive.
Wow, Penguin is the last one alive. Wow.
Yeah, and he's only with 2 Fox 3 left. So, well, this fight was way more leveled out. Very good fight, 81. You should be proud. It was a very nice fight. I love this one, by the way. Nice work. Just work. My English for reals. Nice job, gents.
So that was a very intense round. I mean, that seemed to happen very quickly. I'd say within almost half the time of the previous round, or 2/3 of it at most. Penguin now has an 85 nautical mile flight to recover to Bandar Abbas. Is at 23,000 feet. There hasn't been a huge amount of turning and burning. I don't expect there's going to be an issue with fuel here. It's at Buster at the moment, just cruising along.
Yeah, in fact, we can check his full engine parameters. We can see in this view.
100%.
Yep, you can see he's just going for 100% RPM. And he's just climbing slowly. So, well, I'm pretty sure he's just very good suited for fuel. So, well, I mean, what this means for us is that we are not going to get any kind of formation landing, which is a very big pity, by the way. We all want formation landing, guys. So, well, because we can ask for anything, because we are just sitting here enjoying the match. For next round, for next combats, please at least 2 guys survive so we can have a good formation landing, please. Not only 1.
Yeah, that was a pretty rapid turn of affairs. I'm not even sure that I've managed to capture all the kills that came in so thick and fast. So I'm going to work through the chat and see what I'm missing, and then fill in what has happened here.
Please do.
We certainly saw a bigger showing this time from the Tomcats on the 81st side.
Yeah,
in particular. So let me catch up with the list, and then as I say, I'll give an update. For
sure. Of course, gents, you've seen that this round, as Titanfire will have very well said, this first match. Sorry, this second round, you've seen the Tomcat put into very good use. And I'm pretty sure in this second round that was the main difference between the first round and second one, that the Tomcats did count in make a big difference in this situation for how Green Reapers managed to defend. I mean, many members, I think it was 2 or 3 members from Green Reapers were taken down for the Tomcats. I think it was, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I have at least 2 kills on Tomcats at the moment. I'm just stepping through because I think there's technically possibly a 3rd in the sense of they claimed a maneuver kill on Sean B.
No, it was the Tomcat who did crash. It was another kill. I remember
actually, the log does say it was an AMRAAM, yeah. Sorry, not AMRAAM, Phoenix.
Yeah.
So let me keep stepping through this for a moment.
Yeah, sure, no rush. So guys, of course, as just a reminder for you all guys, remember, this is not yet finished. We haven't finished yet the mission. After we see Green Reaper competitive LAN, we'll get into an interview with both teams to talk about this match. And of course, you guys, you will have your opportunity to ask both team leaders your question, what you want to know, anything that is anything over the top of your head. Please note it down, get it ready, because when Green Reapers competitive lands and get sorted out, we'll be interviewing both team leaders. So stay tuned, don't go away. And of course, after that, Titan Fire and I we'll get to enjoy our beer together while we analyze the Tacview together to see what were the high ups and the lows of this match. And there's also one thing that I want to check. For all of you viewers who did come on this second round, not the first one. The first one, we've seen very, very, very close shots. I mean, we even had 120 that was flying so freaking close to a Tomcat that, come on, he was flying formation with the Tomcat. It could have just hop into a rack from the Tomcat and just strap itself in. That close. And we'll be seeing that after the interview, before we just check the Tacviews for you all guys. And yes, please, we also love our interviews. I mean, I think of the interviews as a way for you all guys to get to know the pilots and the teams who are flying. Not only as in, okay, they are good, they are bad, they are flying these airframes or this and that. That's okay, but that's not all. Well, we can see that Pingin is just using this opportunity to take down the. Oh, he's using his armor just to take down the poor Aguas once again. I mean, why doesn't any one of you guys take good care of the poor Aguas? They haven't done anything to you except telling where you were all the time to the enemy airframes. So, well, I mean, poor guys, they cannot defend themselves. So, Titanfire, do we have the entire list of who killed who in this match?
Almost. Give me just another minute.
Perfect. So for all you guys, remember, if you are going to do this kind of events, find yourself a good co-host as Titanfire have. Tonight, joining me in this match between TFS81 and Green Reapers competitive. I mean, of course, he's also drinking a beer right now, and I'm also drinking my beer right now. So, well, that's something I have to respect. Always drink beer.
Oh, of course.
Always.
I mean, don't do this sober, jeez.
You should not do that sober for sure.
No.
Where's the fun if not?
So, I think we're just maybe 1 kill away from my list being completed.
Sure.
So just bear with me. It got to that point where I was trying to make notes and, you kind of lose track of it. It all goes so fast. So actually piecing it together into a coherent run-through is difficult at the second.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think all of you have seen that this round has been very frantic, and that's something that we love seeing, by the way. Seeing that everything coming down in a very, very fast pace, that's something beautiful and that we all love seeing. But oh well, because we've seen such a gruesome fight in this round, well, we are going to lose some formation flying. And Fisu, come on, Mao? No. You just need to drink some Alhambra beer. And by the way, guys, if you come to Spain, come to southern Spain, more so to Granada, and ask for Alhambra, please. Alhambra 1905. Sorry, 1925. You should order that one if you come to Granada. That's our most special beer, by the way.
So, I'm looking through this. I'm trying to figure out what happened. Banana in a Tomcat, and I'm seeing a disconnect, but I'm not seeing a kill message. Did you notice, Deliberator, during the round that Banana got disconnected?
No, I didn't notice at all. Maybe that's what happened, and that's why you are losing one.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to go through and see, like, what one am I missing here? So Banana certainly won. Skywalker, I think, then put himself in the ground. Okay, that's what it is. Alright, I think I've got the list.
Okay, so we can go over it while we wait for Penguin to land, if you want to.
Sure, I suspect Penguin is pretty close now, just on finals, actually.
Yeah, it
so
is.
Quick run through. Penguin had a kill against Phantom at the start of the round. TFS81 Banana disconnected early on before any of those kills happened. Bear from Grim Reaper's Competitive got a kill on Tagari, but traded, where Tagari also killed Bear. Then we had Skywalker in the Tomcat from TFS81 killed Johnny G and Sean B, and then G-Locked, and presumably G-Locked, went into the ground, so killed himself. Then we had Trojan coming in with 2 kills, killing Macabo and Signore, so 2 of the Grim Reaper's Competitive dying there. We had finally then Penguin killing Rook, and then Signore killing Trojan.
Okay, also getting notice from Rook that Banana got disconnected, unfortunately.
Yeah, that would probably tally there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit pity because you guys from NT1, you were doing such an amazing work this round. And having Banana disconnected, I'm pretty sure that was the decisive factor for this round. I mean,
that went down to the last aircraft, who only had a few AMRAAMs left, and that was a Tomcat, which, as we know, can either be a big difference or no difference. So, Tomcat in this round, again, just going over who did what. Skywalker really stepped up his game here, coming away with 2 kills and just, unfortunately, then killing himself. Trojan had 2 kills, Tagari had 1 kill, Signori had 1, Bear had 1, and then Penguin winning the round here and the match for the Grim Reaper's Competitive with 2 kills.
Thank you, Team Fire, for noting everything down. So guys, of course, Grim Reaper has just landed and airplane is under control, so this round goes towards Grim Reaper's Competitive. So this means that this match has been won by the Grim Reapers. And of course, guys, just a reminder, keep on there. We'll be back in just a few minutes. We'll be interviewing both teams. We'll be interviewing from Grim Reaper's Competitive side. We'll be interviewing Banana and Bear, and Signore, and we'll be interviewing Banana from the 81 side. So guys, keep posted. See you in just 5 minutes. Hello everyone, we are back now. We have Banana from TFS81. Please say hi. Banana?
Hey folks, I hope you had fun.
Yeah, so sure, we had lots of fun here commentating Titan Fire, and I'm pretty sure the viewers also had their share of fun. And also we are right now together also with Bear, sorry, I mispronounced your name once again, Bear and Signore from Green Reapers Competitive. Please say hi, both of you.
Hello, both of you. How's it?
Hey.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us. Hi.
Thank you for joining us for this interview. So for all of our viewers, first and foremost, please, this is the time for you all just to write the question you want to do to both of both our teams that we are interviewing just right now, guys. So of course, while our viewers are just formulating these questions and writing them off, I just have to ask both of teams. So what were your what were you expecting for this fight? I mean, were you expecting this to be this complicated, this simple? You were expecting the other team to fly this kind of airframes? Those kind of things I love to hear from you guys. And if you want to, Banana, you can start.
Well, yes, thank you. I mean, first of all, thanks a lot to the organization of TACT. It's a very good thing, I believe. It gives us, especially the, let's say, smaller squadrons and teams, the opportunity to fight against the, let's say, named ones. We took it very seriously. We were with 104th and Green Reapers in one group, which is very tough. We did our best, very good. We had fun, everything fully okay. And we learned a lot, and this is how it should be, I think.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's what TACT21 is for sure. So, sorry, my bad. So either B or Signore, just to be sure, Signore, how's your name pronounced? Now that we are destroying names.
Signore, that's fine.
Signore, okay, thank you for the correction.
Perfect. Signore, yeah.
And I'm Bear with a capital B.
So Bear with a capital B and Signore. Can you both comment?
Love it.
Thank you. Can you both comment, please?
Well,
Yeah,
I don't
sure.
think any.
Go ahead.
I don't think any match that we go into is. We would never expect an easy match. We did a little bit of research on TFS81. We know that they have the Tomcats. We know there was a possibility of a Jeff, and certainly some 18s. We prepared for sort of all the different scenarios, and it was a tough match. Credit to TFS81 for what they brought at us. Banana, super sorry about that DC in round 2. That's such bad luck. That could have definitely changed it and taken it to round 3 maybe. We worked hard, and I want to thank my guys definitely for putting in the time and the effort, as well as everybody else who's contributed to this lovely tournament. And Deliberator, also congratulations to you for your previous match.
Well, I mean, we lost, so that's not a congratulations, man. It's like we are sorry for you for losing that badly.
Well, we lost our previous one too. It was very tough, but it's this one today was very good. Especially round 2 was super challenging. We were not panicking, but towards the end where the comms were getting really focused. And we were, figuring out how we can utilize the players we have remaining, to bring the win. So it was tough, but even though they were at 5 guys, it was still very tough. So yeah, good job.
Yeah, thank you.
It's a big pity that Banana got disconnected for sure.
Well, this
Yeah.
happens. This happens once a year. It should be tonight.
Well,
Yeah,
always,
that is
always.
definitely a bummer. But it's a complex game, a lot of connections all over the world, so I guess it's expected. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised up to the level that the servers we have for TACT21 are holding up. They're holding very nicely for all
They
of
are.
you. So
Yeah,
congratulations.
I would agree. No lag problems or desyncing issues. It's been pretty good. So it's very good. I'd like to thank you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you 64 for all your work. So guys, let's jump to the viewers that are just starting their questions. So from ETF Greece to both of you. He's asking, what did both teams learn from this match? And please, Banana, do the honors.
Well, the first thing that we take away is that we need to just work a little bit on our communication, and it is always tough to play versus big teams. So I think all in all, we need to just work on things like managing the stress and things like that. Some pilots are very new. 2 of our pilots today were the first time in a tournament at all. So you can imagine they have a lot of stress, and the comps get dirty. So we need to work a little bit on that and come back and get better.
Nice. So for you, Green Reaper is competitive?
I would say that we haven't looked at the Tacviews yet, so we haven't done our full debriefing, and we'd get a better idea of what we'll take away from it. There's always something to take away. That is for sure. What I can say is that our communication improved, our awareness improved, and yes, as I say, once we've seen exactly what happened, I've got a good idea of what happened. Once we see exactly what happened, we will definitely take away what we learned. Senor, do you think there's something obvious that we learned?
Well, I will say, I don't know if we definitely learned, from the match, but the training leading up to the match has been different than, I'd say more is happening. Like we're learning more than we were a little while ago. So as far as this match and preparing, I lost my train of thought. Hang on a second.
No worries.
Bear, take it over. I lost my train of thought.
But
on where I was going with what we
B,
practiced. Oh, the discipline. That's right. So that's what I was just gonna talk about this. Getting sucked in and shooting too many missiles and wasting all of your fuel is a problem for us. So what we learned this time and from our last match is just discipline, holding the fuel, holding the missiles, and not getting sucked in. We tried to focus on that more and rely on our teammates. That's all I'll add to that. But
yeah, what I can say as well is second round with Penguin and myself going at the back, we went full burn the entire time. We did climb to a high altitude, and that Penguin was the last man standing. He had over 4,000 pounds of fuel left, even though we dropped our wing tank early with fuel in them. We wanted the speed, and I think he got a kill from that first engagement. I'm not 100% sure.
He did indeed, yeah. On the west, there was a long-range shot from high altitude.
So we're not against using fuel. We'll have pilots that will save some fuel, but we were prepared to take the risk of it. At 4,500 pounds of fuel, you can fly around the world in DC.
Yeah, for sure you can.
Yeah, especially in the 16 at 40K, right? So
so sorry, right. So okay, so first I'm going to go. Well, next question is from 81 Rook, one of the Bananas group members. Question from Green Reapers: what were you expecting, and what was your first priority caution worry for facing TFS81?
Well, we knew that you might take Tomcats. We knew that you might take Jeffs.
Always a concern for us.
So that changes our strategy, or at least our tactics. A lot of the times when we know we're going up against them, we have to look out for those pesky phoenixes that come from great distances.
Nasty 10s. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, we also know TFS81 is a SATEL team that are an aggressive team and a strong team. It was going to be a close match, and I do believe it was a very close match. They put up a great fight.
Yeah, they did for sure. So of
I
course,
agree.
well, I have to mention this because Bear with a capital B, I know this is for you. So 𝐋𝐈𝐒𝐄𝐒 sends his regards and is asking you for your OnlyFans account because he doesn't remember it was a bad Bear or Teddy did it to me.
𝐋𝐈𝐿𝐶𝐈𝐿 used to fly as my wingman, and we missed the French guy. We also have to say that tonight we lose Johnny G. He goes back to what the fuck group. He was mercenary for us, and what an honor to have him fly with us. He was a fantastic port, and our doors always open for him.
Such a privilege to have him as a teammate, even though it was for a short time. We learned a lot of things from him, and he said that he learned some things from us too. So I mean, it was like the best it could have gone, like as in terms of exchanged pilot program, however you want to.
And then the other thing, happy birthday 𝐋𝐈𝐒𝐄𝐒, and happy birthday Sean B. It's their birthdays today.
So happy birthday to you both. So of course, 𝐋𝐈𝐿𝐒𝐄𝐒 is also happy to see that 𝐋𝐈𝐿𝐒𝐄𝐒 hasn't spread love to the ground, by the way.
Not this time, but
not this time.
tell him, you know, don't keep his fingers crossed, because you never know, I might do it.
So next question coming from Fat Blastard, asking for Green Reapers, because we saw this situation was very interesting to us while we were watching the fight, to see your tactic distribution, your spread in the FT map for second round. And Fat Blastard is asking to Green Reapers if they were thinking from the start using the grinder from the beginning of the round 2.
We don't know what a grinder is.
Oh, like a chainsaw?
Well,
we don't know what a chainsaw is either.
Yes.
Oh, fair, you're being covert.
Absolutely. Actually,
so, hang on. Was his question if we were planning from the start to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
Understood.
We practiced this tactic yesterday. It was actually a bit of a sneaky one because it's a twist of what we did in round 2 against 104 in our previous tactic. And what I wanted to do is hope that TFS81 had done some research on us and watched our previous match. Maybe they would have got to see what we did in the round 2. So we wanted to fool them this time by making it look a little bit like what we did then, but we did have a twist on it this time. 1 and 2 were going to go into a grinder with 3 and 4 in the middle, and 5 and 6 were going to do TWS long shots from speed. Our plan then was to try and keep them in the middle. There's a train of thought that controlling the center is a good thing, and I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I just don't really believe that controlling the center, like in chess, is the right approach. I think you're vulnerable in the center, so we do like to rather attack from the sides for now.
Yeah, very interesting analysis, by the way.
Excuse me.
That's a very, yeah, I mean, I loved it, and it's a very interesting approach. It's totally different to what we were doing in DPW. Of course, we are newbies, so we have all the problems with being newbies. That's all, but that's normal. So that's something to learn from. So thank you for that information, mate.
Yeah, there was a lovely, just as a side comment, there was a lovely moment in that initial opening from GRC where those first 2 wide elements just turned in towards each other, and it's just that early, wrecking of the long-range Phoenix and long-range AMRAAM that we've seen a number of squadrons do, and it just worked beautifully. The timing of the movements, I think, was great. So well done on that.
Thank you. Yeah, that was the idea. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. So you got it perfect. That we call it the preemptive notch. You don't know if it's really coming, but you do it anyways.
Absolutely.
But yes, thank you so much.
Penguin actually saw the first Phoenix fired and called it.
In round 1? Yes.
Yeah, round 1 he called it.
That was eagle eye spotting. I mean, he caught that, and we wouldn't have notched if he hadn't said anything. One of us would have died for sure.
Yeah, round 1 we didn't have the plan to notch unless we saw something.
Mm-hmm.
Big credit to Penguin then.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Man of the match.
Man of the match. Last survivor in round 2.
Yeah. He did win the match for you guys, so perfect.
Definitely.
So far...
He's really good. Sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry. So I just wanted to say, so from the viewers, it seems that we are not getting any more questions, and I know that Tita5 got some for you guys stored away.
Just a couple, and I want to keep them kind of general, to be honest. So, this, obviously and unfortunately for both squadrons, is your last TACT match of 21-1, and hopefully there will be a 21-2 or a 22-1 or more TACT to come. But I'd like to ask both squadrons, what have you taken from TACT as a whole, and has the competition been good for your squadrons?
Banana, would you like to go first?
Yeah, sure. Well, as I said, every single match a new experience. It's not like any other match. You face new teams, you face good pilots. It's a perfect platform for every one of us, I think, to just learn and get back, work on our weaknesses, and get stronger and come back. Enjoy it. Use the opportunity to just play versus other teams. It is getting organized. You have less administrative work, and this is a great chance. We're not here just for fun. We're here for competing, and that's going to be also in the future.
What I'd say is, well, for starters, it's the first tournament that we've done as 6. We have very, very little experience in 6v6, so we are trying our absolute best to learn everything we can about the 6 format, so much different to 4v4's format. As far as the competition is concerned, well run, well managed, well streamed and presented, which is great. I am very, very sad that the tables only had 3 in it. It would have been awesome to have just one more match in it now that we find our stride. But hopefully that's for 22. We like 6v6 and we'll pursue it. Whether it'll be our main avenue or not, we'll have to decide. But that is something that we take away, which is a really big thing, is the introduction of 6v6 for us.
Yeah, I just want to add. Well, I think actually I don't want to add anything. Barry, you basically said everything, but I do want to say thanks for doing the, from streaming the TACT tournament, and thanks to everybody who was involved in setting it up. We really enjoyed being a part of it.
Absolutely.
Well, for my part, I can only say that it's my pleasure to be streaming these kind of matches. I think I have more fun streaming than fighting, by the way.
I need to just mention something, if it is okay.
Sure.
Well, as you guys said, 6v6 is also a new format for us. We were a typical 4v4, let's say, team. Our whole training was also like that in the past. So it was also a new field for us. 6v6 is hard to fly, hard to manage, hard to communicate, all of this. But all these were not possible without the help of 𝐋𝐈𝐒𝐄, who very graciously lent 2 of their good pilots to us. At this point, I want to thank Tagari and Trojan for helping us here and were with us, trained with us, spent time with us. And my big thanks goes to 𝐋𝐈𝐿𝐿 at this point.
Very nice, very nice.
We thank you in Greek.
Oh, okay.
I learned a couple of words because I wanted to thank these guys, so I just googled the day before.
That went completely over my head, so well done, guys.
Yeah, well done.
And probably you guys know, I mean, TFS81 is a pure Iranian squad.
Yeah.
So we are called kind of old neighbors. So.
That's very nice.
Let's see you again in the skies.
That interestingly segues into my second and final question. But I just also want to comment that I think Deliberator speaks for all the streamers there, and certainly myself too, in saying it has been a pleasure covering these. And one of the things about TACT that we've liked, from streaming it and the different groups and whatnot, again, slightly segueing into the question, but we've talked about it a lot on the streams, that TACT has been great for the community as a whole, we feel. And getting lots of different people involved in different squadrons, and squadrons who may not have gotten the same coverage otherwise or in the past. So the question I'd like to ask, or to finish with you lads, is to say, what advice would you give to smaller squadrons, or to people who are watching TACT and your matches or listening to this saying, hey, I'd like to do that?
I'll
I'd
go
say,
first. Senor.
sorry. I was just gonna say develop a practice schedule that you can hold everybody to that you plan on having the squadron with, because I think that's the most essential thing. If you can't have routine practices, then the squadron doesn't really work. It kind of fizzles out. So just get a schedule that works for everybody, and that'll set you on your way.
Yeah, I'll add to that you need committed members. That is, the commitment that goes into it is vital. And don't give up. You're gonna lose fights, you're gonna win fights, you're gonna draw fights, you're gonna get angry, you're gonna get sad, you're gonna go through all the emotions through the spectrum. Don't give up. Follow your heart, practice hard, and don't be afraid to ask people for help. There's so many people out there that are willing to help at any given time. We go and fight against or scrim against a team, and afterwards we're sharing ideas and tactics and saying this is a good one, this is the bad one. So the knowledge is out there. Don't be afraid to ask. Don't give up.
Definitely.
Yeah, I can confirm what Bear said. Dedication is very important. You need to have dedicated pilots. You cannot teach someone dedication, but you can teach them how to fly. So if you have dedicated people, get together, train, and then get into the TAC community, get into the SATAL community, challenge other teams. And what we did, I just watched every single SATAL match in the last 2 years and analyzed them, get back to the team, and showed them how the others do. We tried to just copy that in our training, and that was actually the way we did. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but now we are here.
Yeah, I mean, I can't talk. I'm going to say also my part in this case, because I come from the part we are talking to. I mean, as G3W, we are Spanish newborn PvP team. We was formed just for TACT21. So for us, this is entirely new, and we fall into the category of newcomers, new teams, just learning the ropes. I mean, I haven't done PvP at all in any competitive way up to this tournament, and most of my guys too. So I can tell you that that both Banana, Beer, sorry, the three of them, Banana, Bear with a capital B, and Signore are saying is totally true, by the way. You just need to schedule people that have a good enough availability, that are committed, and grind it out. That's all. There's nothing more than practice. That's all. And die and die and die and die once again, once again, once again, once again. You just have to pull through all that struggle, and then you will learn something after maybe 3 months, 2 months of dying all with the same shot. Then you learn how to defend that. Then you build upon that, and that's how everything goes if you want to learn anything at all. So guys,
that's very accurate of how it goes for sure. That's it.
Yeah. You need to have stamina. In the beginning, you lose a lot of friendly games, but you need to have the stamina to just continue.
Experience.
Yeah, exactly. Every single missile you get is one experience you win.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, guys. I think that's all. Unless you want to say anything more, guys.
Thank you for delivering that, Deliberator.
You are welcome.
See what you did there.
Deliberator, right?
Thank
Very
you.
good.
It was the last match. Big thanks to 64 for everything. It was fun, and you will for sure see us in the next round also.
Thank
Banana.
you. It's a good match.
Banana, thank you and your team for your time and patience and things.
Big kudos to you guys.
One last thing
Thank
that I'd
you.
like to add, Thomas, if you're out there, this win tonight.
Yep.
What this win tonight? What, Bear?
This win was for him.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
the last part got cut off.
Yeah, we didn't hear that one. So,
Sorry.
mate, that's for you. This win is for you, mate. That's something to.
There we go.
Nice.
That's nice
There
thing
you
for
go.
you. So,
Have a
guys,
good
You're
time.
welcome.
All right.
right.
Thank you. Good night.
thank you
Take
guys
care,
for your
stay
time.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you guys for joining us in this interview. I'm pretty sure that all guys watching this interview, they think they've learned a lot for getting to know you guys. And I'm very thankful for both your time, guys. For the three of you guys, for your time.
Absolutely.
Thank
Um,
you.
Everything.
And
Our
for,
pleasure.
and hopefully we'll get to train against you soon enough, so we'll get our ass kicked and learn from it, guys.
Again,
Totally, would love to train.
Well, we love
If
to
you
get our
need
asses
someone
kicked.
to win against, call me.
I'll do for sure.
Take care, guys.
Take
Bye-bye.
care,
Alright,
guys.
see ya.
Bye bye. So,
Bye.
gents, we'll have a short break. We'll be taking just a 2-minute breaks while we set up Tacview. Titanfire and I will get to analyze Tacviews with you all in just 2 minutes. Let me just download them, set them up, and we'll be back in just a few moments, guys. Stay tuned. Oops, this is not the one. That's the one. My bad, sorry guys. So guys, we are back. Right now we are together, Titanfire and I, we are just together. We just grab our videos and we are going to check out how the fight went in this match between TFS81 and Green Reapers, where Green Reapers won 2-0 in this case. So guys, what we have right now in front of us, this is the first round of both of these matches, okay? So we've seen this part. I think it's going okay. So we've seen this part where in this first round, Green Reapers were flying as blue side, whereas 81 plus Lock on Grease, they were flying as the red side. So of course, in this first round, Green Reapers competitive decide to stick all together until being very close to the up to this point. That's I think that's more close to the finish range. Yeah, up to mile 65 they decided to fly together, and then they went for the notch in order to make a short work of the 14s from 81 side. So we can see, of course, I think all of the team expect the 14s to start launching their finishes around mile 65 to 60. So this is something that we expect to do from the 14s at the start of the match. Of course, these are very low probability kill, but if this missile connect, then this is a big imbalance for the future of the match.
Yeah, exactly as you said, Live Raider. Tricker mentioned this in his stream earlier again. He was referring back to a match Tricker and I had covered early on in TACT where there was an 87 nautical mile Phoenix kill. And it's one of those things, when it connects, it can just completely throw the round in your favor. So there's no harm in throwing one out. Just don't, bet your entire round on it.
Yeah. I mean, that's not something healthy to do for sure. You can see this first notch just renders the missile stupid. And well, that's one less missile for 81. But as I said, there are some missiles that you have to shoot whatever happens. You don't shoot them expecting them to connect, but if they connect, then it's a very big deal.
Yeah, listening to Bear talk about that second round in that interview just now, he mentioned that Penguin spotted the Phoenix launch in round 2, as we'll see in the Tacview when we get to it, and had they not, probably would have had a kill. So again, it comes down to seeing it, and hopefully you have everybody looking that way, and that's something that I think GRC did well here. They had all 6 ships kind of quite close together.
Yeah, I mean that's something that, of course, it confused a lot of the Jester, because when you are just flying with Jester, then you don't know who he's going to just lock and target, So that's something that be really sure. That's something very scary. Of course, we can see here that Green Reapers, Tacview did decide to launch some 120 towards this left flank from Green Reapers. I said Green Reapers before, sorry, Lock on Grease, sorry, my bad, but I'm going to be confused up to the last moment.
Come on now.
Well, we are finishing up. I mean, I have to
Maybe
do
3 hours again, you should know it by now.
So, of course, this first 120 from Seccond, what makes is that Bear and Pingin, Bear with a capital B, sorry, I have to
I
be
love that, by the way.
I love that for sure. To put them on the defensive, so they are just running to the left, putting them out of the fight, or at least trying to. Of course, Johnny G can use this opportunity to try to fight Seccond, but of course, he's 20 miles out, so this missile is not going to connect at all. They are way too low and way too far for the missile to have any kind of opportunity to connect.
Especially when it's in the beam, it's not going to be any sort of a factor, but it is a defensive shot. It's going to push Tagari off from running down Bear and Penguin, so it's really covering his teammates.
Yeah. Of course, we can see something totally different on the right flank. Of course, we can see that here, what we saw is that Phantom came alone. Trying to push towards the 3 team members from Green Reapers competitive. But of course, what it meant that Signore and Simbi just tried to put Phantom defensive. Of course, they deliver.
And the first kill we're looking for actually is Signore against Phantom.
Oh.
So I don't think it's immediately now, but the first one we're looking for should be, I think, that.
Okay. And by the way, viewers, just so you all know, because we learned this last mission, this arrow represents north, okay? So when you feel like you don't know what's left, what's right and such, just look for the arrow, okay? This is going to help you out to know where's north, okay? So we have a finish from Skywalker to Signore, Sinbi and Kilo Tangent. Tangent, no, what was the pronunciation, sorry?
Tangent.
Tangent. Come
Kilo
on.
Tangent.
Kilo Tangent. What's going on today with my English for sure? Come on. But this finish is way too far to make any kind of problem. You can see that if you fire towards an enemy who is turning cold, then that missile is just going to be wasted at all. It's nothing. It's something that you should have reserve for later on the fight, or at least try to select 𝐋𝐈𝐒𝐄. I'm sure I butchered once again the name. But
I think what you're seeing here basically is that the hot-cold leg of the grinder they're trying to set up just isn't long enough to keep an element of GRC hot to actually take a Phoenix, because it's going to take a while for that Phoenix to actually reach them.
yeah,
So by the time Skywalker foxed on Sean B, within a couple of seconds he had turned cold. And even if Skywalker had foxed on one of the aircraft in the rear, like Kilo Tangent or Signore, they probably would have turned around again before it got there.
yeah. I mean, I think this is not the key we were looking for. Of course, we'll check the western side in just a sec. Okay, we can see that this eastern side has a lot going on right now. Okay, so we can see that also Skywalker, they did try to keep on pushing, sending one Phoenix toward Kilo Tangent. Okay, I'm butchering the name for sure. And my English.
That's my line.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm the one who butchered names. As Bastard reminds me, it's a feature of me apparently.
Oh, really?
It's worth calling out here, by the way, that this is actually quite a difficult situation for
Yeah.
Signore. When you've got this many Phoenixes coming in from different angles, if they start to track, you have to notch a Phoenix. When you're in this close, especially, it's the only defense. But if you've got them coming in from two different bearings, you can't notch two different bearings.
Yeah.
So you have to notch one and then hopefully try and get the notch for the second one in time. And that's incredibly difficult to pull off because you don't know which fired first.
Yeah. And not only that.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, of course, we can see that. Not only that, of course, Skywalker before turning cold, I think he just launched four Phoenixes. Yeah, I mean, 1, 2. No, only 3. Okay.
Yeah, Banana came in with some too.
Okay, so Banana launched 2 and Skywalker launched 3. So that's 5 Phoenixes. It's almost one entire airplane worth of Phoenixes just put down on the range in just a very short time a very short span of time. I mean, this is not something I would expect to see that often. But well, I mean, it managed to put Kilo Tangent out of the fight. And Signore didn't manage to put him on the cold, but well.
Yeah, I think really they needed a kill out of that. They did expend a lot of missiles and only carrying 6 each.
Yeah, that's
and
way
it kind
too
of comes
much.
back to what I was saying earlier about, thinking back on this first round. Were the 2 Tomcats on this one side as effective as splitting the Tomcats between both sides?
Yeah,
I'm not convinced they were.
Yeah, it's complicated for sure. I mean, Tomcat is a very specific airplane and you have to know how to fly it off. And I think this is the first kill. Yeah, it is. So this is the first kill.
Signore on Phantom.
No, pronounce it correctly. Signore. Towards Phantom, and that's a mile 6 while Phantom was trying to notch the missile. But of course, he did turn out cold trying to make distance. But I'm afraid that the missile started to crack.
Got caught out by having 2 missiles there. The one behind meant he couldn't just go straight for the notch, and then tried to notch the second one, but it was too late.
Yeah,
so had he broken for the notch earlier, potentially, but in that range, you're just not going to outrun it easily.
Yeah, I'm afraid he's not going to outrun it for sure.
And that's really what I think the TFS81 guys should have gotten out of that big Phoenix exchange a few minutes ago, was something like that, where you notch one, but you can't notch the other, or you can't avoid the other. But it just didn't come off.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's keep on checking this one out. Of course, now we see that Banana and Skywalker are like down 6, 7. I mean, they've used 7 Phoenixes all along, plus the first launch. So they've used 8 Phoenix just for this starting of the round.
So the next kill you're looking out for is Trojan of the 81st versus Bear, and that's on the west side.
Okay, let's change then side. Well, let's do this. Okay, before just checking the kills on the left flank, let's just finish. Let's just finish checking out this right flank, because it were 2 different fights altogether up to the last part. So I think it's going to be more interesting to see how this side develops. Then we check the left flank, and then we can.
If you want to look at the next kill on this side, is Signore versus Skywalker.
Okay, let us check then. Okay, Banana is just turning cold. Kilo Tangent.
Tangent.
Tangent. The problem is my pronunciation of the G. Tangent. That's it. So Kilo Tangent tried to kill Seccond. I think this is the miss. I think this is the one. Yeah. Oh, we have to show you guys, by the way, one thing that we saw before. That's something I showed you when we've come across it.
And that was probably the clip, actually.
That's the clip. I mean, well, I think this one is way too far away. Yeah, this is too far. There was a closer one, by the way. I will check. I'll inform you when we see it, and we'll check the clip, because we had 120 almost locked back into the F-14 airplane. So we can see an exchange between banana. I think this is the one. I'm pretty sure this is the one. No, not at all. So Team B is putting pressure to Skywalker in this side, as we can see. This is a 70-mile shot. This is not expected to commit to hit, okay, at all. Yes, we all know.
I feel like now that we're not like tracking every missile in the heat of battle, I should pull you up on your pronunciation of Sean.
Sean.
Sean B, not Scene B.
Oh yeah, right. Sean.
It's a good Irish name, Sean.
Oh, you're right. I didn't know that. Thanks for the correction.
There you go.
Sean B. Well, the more you know. So by the way, guys, feel free to send my way anything you want me to learn. So I'm happy to be corrected anytime. So feel free to do so. And if you want to poke fun out of me, feel free to do so too. Okay, I think this is the one. Oh, this is not the one. Which one was? Oh, this is the kill you were talking about. Signore fires upon Skywalker.
Skywalker.
That's mile 8 miles away. So now he's just trying to outrun it, but this was the kill that Skywalker was just going for military power. He wasn't using his burner to outrun the missile.
Yeah, we had a few defenses like that in this first round that were, effectively quite lazy in that they didn't, as we say, to use the cliche, respect the missile.
Yeah.
And I think had those missiles been respected a little bit more, the airframes would have survived longer and, perhaps influenced the result of the round in a different way.
You're totally right.
I suppose the other thing to call out then, we've seen this in many of these post-match debriefs. When the AMRAAM is that close, you need to either get cold immediately, almost before it's fired, or you go for the notch.
Yeah.
If it's closing miles before you even perform the traditional split S, you're not going to outrun it.
That's it.
So Tomcat, as we say, if it had the burners lit, maybe, but when it didn't, well, it didn't have hope.
Yeah, you gotta use a sitting tag like a F-18, that's all. So, of course, we've seen this right flank has been entirely, we've seen the entire development. Let us check the left flank before we start analyzing.
So then we're looking for Trojan should kill Bear.
Okay, let me check, let me go back a bit more. Okay, this is the start of this area. Okay, Seccond 120 towards Penguin or Bear with a capital B. So Takagi is trying to push. Oh, Penguin goes cold. Yeah, I think Penguin got the missile alert, then turned cold and recommit here. Of course, Penguin first three towards Trojan over the left flank. But of course, Trojan was going for the notch at that moment. So when he turns cold, this missile is not going to arrive.
Yeah, you've got range there to turn cold. You don't have to notch at 20 miles. You can just turn out.
Yeah.
Unless it's a 40,000 foot at Mach 1.5 at 20 miles, then you're pretty much in trouble. But at this sort of altitude and speed, you can just turn out.
Yeah, totally right. Of course, we can see the different situation altogether inside. Of course, so for all you viewers that you don't know, the 120s fire from the 18 and 16, they do suffer from ground clutter. It has been modeled in that missile, but the SD-10 doesn't have a ground clutter model. That what it means that this missile is going to track way more easily this 16 than this 120 towards Rook. So that's why when you see a 17 in this tournament, unless the missiles get updated, this SD-10 is way more dangerous as more than 120 for sure. And when you want to defend this kind of missile, you have to do a kinematic defense. You can see that Johnny G just went down and just made the missile go down towards the round. That's all. And you manage to do this, then you are gold. You don't have to outrun the missile at all. and Johnny G makes the defense. Okay. Of course, Tagari puts Penguin out cold. And let's see how this one develops. Okay, 120 mile 10 from Johnny G towards Trojan. Of course, this is something that you all should check, and this is something to learn from. If you there's at a distance where you have to shoot your missile and just turn out cold. That's all. You don't have to keep on going in hot, because if not, you can see the difference. Okay, Trojan is starting to defend now. Well, when he has just launched his Fox 3, and Johnny G is just out cold. So Johnny G has lots of distance to just save the missile. And Trojan here, I think this was the one who got 𝐂𝐒𝐒, wasn't it? Yeah. No, he managed to defend this one with a notch. So Trojan managed to notch this one, but as you can see, it's very, very close by. You can see that this...
Just checking my notes here, and I'm not 100% if it's Tagari or Trojan will get the kill on Bear that's coming up.
Okay, let's check. Oh, I think it was...
It'll be coming up in a few moments.
Yeah. Because we can see in this left flank that both Rook and Tagan are very, very far away. I
think it's Tagari, actually.
You think so?
Which we will see.
Yeah, just a sec. Okay, let me...
Oh no, that could be the one here from Trojan. Missiles out, but that should be defeated.
What's this one? Yeah, no, wow.
That got close to Rook.
Yeah, way too close for comfort.
Yeah, this is one of those situations we talked about in previous matches where if Rook tried to snake here and break back to the right, would have just turned back into the missile. I remember like at least three matches looking in these Tacviews where we've said, you know, you defeat it and you just break hard in that direction. And snaking can work, but when it's that close, turning back in again can get you killed, and has gotten a lot of people killed in the tournament.
Yeah, we've seen that many, many times for sure.
Yep.
Okay, so let's keep on checking this one out. So 120 between Rook and Penguin in this situation. This get defeated. I think this is the one we are looking for.
Is this the kill? That
yep.
is. So it is Trojan.
That's it. So Trojan did kill Bear with a capital B. Mal 7 shot. Of course, Bear with a capital B didn't manage to defend soon enough. So well, he did get his.
I have to chuckle every time I hear that, by the way.
Well, of course we had to. Well, I'm really looking forward to check Signor once again out, just to do the shitty names thing. Oh, I love learning pronunciation, by the way. So feel free to correct me anytime. So of course now.
Yeah, Johnny G kills Rook. I think that's what we're just about to see here.
Yeah, but interesting. Tagari did just go nuts climbing here. Why? I mean,
so he put an SD10 out on Johnny G, so it was intentional to recommit.
Yeah, but I'm just checking Tagari. Why did he disconnect from the fight and just go up and climb and climb and climb and just... I mean, he wasn't helping the... I mean, I can't understand now that he just fighting Penguin and Johnny G in this situation. But why disconnect from the fight entirely and allow...
This stage is too late, isn't it? Because Penguin, I think, gets... Well, Rook dies, and does Penguin get Trojan then? I think Penguin does.
Yeah.
So by the time that Jeff recommits, it's a 2-on-1.
Well, this is the kind of situation we were talking before. Like, Rook didn't respect the missile, and he did turn into the missile. And when he did notice, well, too late. That's it. And that's something, as you well said before, you just have to respect the missile, not turn towards the missile. That's something that I remember it was hard for me to learn, because I was suffering with this kind of situation before when we were training.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's one of those things, you know, that it's all situational and it all depends on individual setups and individual parameters. But the key is trying to recognize those parameters when you're in the pit. And that also is the difficulty, because that is experience. You know, it takes a long time of being behind the stick trying to defend those missiles to recognize this guy is within X miles, he's at X thousand feet, you know, and even if you can tell he's fast or not, to know whether you can either turn out or you have to notch, or, you know, how much respect you have to give it. And it just comes down to experience. We talk about it so much in these streams, but you know, fundamentally, it is a thing.
It is a thing for sure. So this is the next kill on the left flank, pinging mile 7 shot towards Trojan. Of course, Trojan didn't manage to focus with Penguin, so he did try to commit to the notch, but didn't do so in a fast enough way. Well, he did get his missile in it. Rook, not rock. Never mind. Okay, thanks for the correction, Bullet. Thanks for correcting me.
Boulet. What was it you said earlier, Mr. Boulet? Streamers can use whatever pronunciation they wish.
Well, Boulet.
I was giving Tricker shit for this earlier, actually, because he was calling you Devil Raider.
Really?
During your match.
I haven't checked that one out before.
I had to repeatedly tell him, Deliberator, come on.
Well, feel free to butcher my name as much as you want. No worries, mate. Okay, let's check this one. Of course, Takari did try to put Johnny G and kill Johnny G, but of course, he just went out cold. And Penguin...
It does get Penguin.
Yeah, it does get Penguin, because Penguin did try to recommit. But of course...
Yeah.
He did recommit way too close. Then I've noticed that it is around, if you want to recommit, you have to be around mile 15. You want to turn out hot from being cold in order to do it in a way that you survive. Well, that's roughly around the distance.
I'll have to somewhat disagree there by saying when you get into if you're, say, for example, you're in a one-on-one fight, and the range collapses within 10 miles, you really can't extend back to 15. You don't have that as an option. You have to recommit, and you have to get a missile off. And the key thing is that, you know, as you're coming into the 10-mile range, you'll probably exchange defensive missiles and you both defend. But it's all about who gets hot first, who gets nose on target first. In this case, Tagari is running in, and Penguin now is turning. It's like when the missile is fired, Penguin's in a beam, but turns in, and by the time Penguin gets kind of nose on target, that missile's halfway to him.
Yeah.
You know, so the only thing he can do there is try and go, oh crap, I now have to notch. But I think Penguin kept the turn up too much and almost went outbound again, and then broke whatever notch might have been, and that fundamentally there it is. Because now it's turned almost cold. Fundamentally, you're just not going to defend that.
Yeah, I mean,
so Penguin's decision to recommit, I think, probably is, one of those things of, okay, it could have gone differently, but you need your buddy to be covering you, because Tagari with altitude and speed is probably going to burn you down. So somebody has to put a missile on him.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So that's one of those coin tosses.
Yeah, I mean, Johnny G in this situation, he's sounding out cold for a long time. I don't know if Johnny G did turn out hot towards Tagari. Maybe this one might be run differently.
Yep, Johnny G kills Tagari.
Yeah, but later on when he's just alone.
Oh, here I think.
Yeah, I mean, this is a mile 8 shot. Tagari is trying to defend, but since that this is the one, yeah, I mean, of course he did. Oh no, he did manage to defend this.
Oh, just got away from that.
Yep, close enough, but it is enough so Tagari gets into a defensive situation. So he has to run.
So now Tagari is kind of fucked, because it's either you recommit and you're probably going to die, or you run and you're going to die.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't have a huge amount when you see Johnny G has speed here. It's like Mach 1.46 versus Mach 1.23.
That's it. And that's a huge different situation. Because then Johnny G only has to put one more 120 towards Tagari, and that's all.
Penguin has joined the chat, by the way. Welcome, Penguin.
Welcome,
Penguin says, I thought it was a Tomcat, and I was going for the sneaky, but I was Winchester. Okay.
Oh.
So Penguin didn't have a stick to throw and just got caught.
Well, we didn't know that. Yeah, that's unfortunate for sure. Okay, so guys, this is the end of round 1.
We don't need to see the AWACS die.
Well, we have to. I mean, this is the last casualty of the round. So Kilo Tangent, freaking sake, Tangent did manage to kill the poor AWACS. I mean, they deserve it for sure. They are the enemy, but come on, just a poor little AWACS. They should be not taken care of. They shouldn't be taken care of. Okay, let us check Seccond Tacview, by the way.
Credit to Signore and Kilo Tangent there for the formation landing.
Signore.
Style points again.
Style points for sure. Guys, we all love our formation landings, so please, please, please keep them coming. But I think, was it the formation flying between the missiles? Was it in the second round? Between the Tomcat and the F-120? I think it was this round, wasn't it?
Oh, good question. I'm not sure.
I want to show it, and I think it was
I can
this
probably
round.
check from Discord history if you bear with me one moment.
Oh well, if you just run the
It was after round 1. It was round 1.
It was round 1.
I pasted the link to you before I started tracking kills for round 2. So yeah, it was round 1.
Okay, we didn't track. I didn't know. Okay, so guys, I don't know which was the situation. I don't remember exactly what time it was, but we are going to show you something that was very, very fun during the stream. It's a very,
I remember
very,
getting close to
very
Skywalker
close.
and the Tomcat.
Oh, you are totally right.
Going right.
So this 120 flying close formation to this Tomcat. I mean, you'll see just in a sec. Come on, guys. That's. I mean, just pause over here. I mean, it's so freaking close that if that Tomcat just turned left, just for a sec, he will be dead. So that's as close as it gets, for sure. As close as it gets. This is something I love to see more often. I would love to see that more often. Okay, guys, so let us check round 2. Of course, in this situation, we can see that Grim Reaper's competitive did go for a very, very strange formation. We can see they went for an X formation, where
I really liked this, by the way.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it was funny listening to Bear with a capital B afterwards talking this through, you know, because we almost saw the opposite from round 1, where both squadrons did each other's thing to a degree. Roughly, loosely speaking. Like we saw the TFS81 folks coming down as effectively 2 ladders of 3 into the fight. And here, had the middle element of that X split up, you would have seen 2 ladders of 3. But you had effectively Signore and Sean B being bait on the extremes, and then, as Bear with a capital B said to us, Penguin at the back saw the Phoenix launch, and that prompted this break for both Sean B and Signore to, basically go for the notch and then turn into each other and collapse that front element again, and drawing into the center pair.
But I think this is not the launch he saw, because just for all you folks that don't know, rendered distance for any kind of airplane and such is 40 miles out. So it's not possible to see visually any launch whatsoever if it is farther down. I think 45 miles out. So I think
I'm not sure that's true.
Try it yourself. I did try it myself. I mean, if you hop into an airframe, lock the enemy airplane with a 16, for example, and go the zoom all the way down, try to see the spec on the screen, you'll see that there is no information whatsoever. There is nothing at all, and you have to wait until a mile 45-ish, 45-ish, so you can start seeing the contours of the airplane in the air, so you can check if they have launched any kind of missile whatsoever.
So I'm talking specifically Phoenix here.
Yeah, me too.
A Phoenix launch from any range, I always use the metaphor of it goes up like a space shuttle launch. From the perspective of the aircraft being fired on, it's like a vertical launch. Because that's the angle you see it at, and that's I want to say that's visible more than 45 miles, but I'm open to correction.
Well,
I'm pretty sure I've seen it at longer distances.
Well, visually tracking them out, personally, no. I don't know if any of you viewers have noticed at any time whatsoever visually any kind of Phoenix further down than 45 miles. In my experience,
it's specifically the smoke trail. That's really what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the missile, I'm not talking about the aircraft that you're seeing. It's just that you see this white plume going vertical.
Yeah. Well, if any of you guys know, then please correct us. That would be interesting. And we've seen this.
You're making me want to look back over some of my own Tacviews now. I think I saw it the other night.
Well, now you won't get bored. Oh, this missile, this was very close by the way.
Yeah, Sean B got, I want to say got lucky there that the Phoenix decided to pull right. If it hadn't kept pulling lead, But I think it was possibly just its speed at that stage. It just lost momentum.
Yeah, I mean, it was not going to connect speed-wise, but it could have been tracking. It's interesting to see that it lost lock at just the last moment.
No, Signori is backing you up. Phoenix is not visible past 45. It is true. So I'm going to say that I'll be corrected on that, but I will be looking back at my own Tacviews for confirmation.
Okay, so let's keep on.
I mean, if we roll back there for a second, what was the range? That was 60-something miles of that launch, and from what Bear with a capital B just told us, Penguin saw the launch. So...
No, but I think that's a different one.
I think it depends on your zoom. Like, if you zoom in and are looking for it.
No, it doesn't matter. If you zoom all together up to the max, then you'll see the smoke trail up to 45 miles out. That's all.
Okay, yeah, but Signore is backing you up.
But I think this is the one, maybe. Because Signore... Okay, this might be the one. This might be the one. Because here, Simbi, of course. I mean, this is my... This might be the one.
It's distance to Penguin you want to look at from what Bear was just telling us.
Sorry.
I stand corrected. Penguin is at the back because both Bear and Penguin came in wide at like 40,000 feet.
Yeah. Well, this missile, he could see this one. And it's very... I would expect Penguin to be...
Maybe then at this point. So after that... I'm still not buying that because it doesn't tally with what Bear told us of they wouldn't have broken for the notch but for Penguin's Cull. Unless they break for the notch now. But Sean B doesn't break for the notch. Sean B breaks to recommit.
Yeah, you are right.
Anywho, look, it's DCS. These things are happen. You know, it's always in a weird state.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so this is the first casualty of the match, isn't it? Yeah,
sorry. Penguin will kill Phantom on the west flank, and this is the long AMRAAM from high altitude.
I didn't remember this one, by the way. Oh, it's not.
I think you possibly were looking at something else at the time.
Yeah, you were right. I was just checking someone who was defending one missile. Sorry, guys, for missing this one.
So this is kind of what we were saying, that like these are a low PK shot at 40 miles because Phantom, you know, should expect this. If you have a Viper fast and high, you really should be expecting them to throw a stick. And Phantom doesn't defend until the RWR goes off. You can see it just by how close it is.
Yeah.
You know, it's 5 miles, right? And Phantom's just flying into it. That's dead all day long, and that's the danger that they pose. So that's what we're saying, you know, it's no harm occasionally throwing a shot like that. You might get lucky. And in this case, you know, Penguin did because Phantom didn't predict it. And that's the, you know, or preempt it. That's the bit that we keep talking about when you're dealing with Phoenixes or high Vipers in particular. You know, high Hornets too, to be fair. Like I remember Bullet killing me once. I was flying a Tomcat and just not paying attention at 40,000 feet. And he was about 50 miles away, 5-0, and threw an AMRAAM at me from high altitude and I just flew into it. So, you know, it can happen. It's just, again, trying to preempt those things. You just have to go to the notch and defeat it. Or just turn out. At that range, you can just turn out.
Yeah. I mean, just for all the viewers that want to learn a bit, if you see an enemy that is just turning hot to you and then goes for the crank and keeps on the crank, then it's feasible to say that he has just shot you. Keep that in mind, okay? Then what Phantom have seen that Penguin was cranking to his right, then he can use turn out call, and that will have saved him entirely. Just for all of you to know, okay? Well, says the one who has eaten so many missiles today.
Well, we always say it, right? It's very easy for us to make these, you know, very sage and wise words of wisdom from the armchair after a match has happened. It's entirely different being in the pit during a fight with adrenaline pumping and your RWR screaming and your teammates trying to talk to you on comms. So, you know, always we have to remember that.
Yeah. And for you guys, I do recommend for all of you to try it out at least once. It's a very fun experience. You will learn like lots. I mean, for me, it's like it's a before and after. For me, when I see now with the PvP tactic that we have in D3W, we can face a SA-10 like it's nothing. Like, well, I can go alone and take it down myself, no problem. And that's something that you learn when you are dying constantly against any enemy Fox 3s. Okay, so what more do we have? Oh, this one's very close.
So we're looking at Tagari will kill Bear at some point. I'm not sure where we're up to now. I think Penguin just killed Phantoms. I think Bear will kill Tagari. Tagari will kill Bear on the eastern side. The two of those trade on the extreme east, from what I remember.
Okay, let us check for a sec. Okay, this is the key we saw before. So Tagari did send 120 towards Signore.
And then basically goes banzai on Bear.
Yeah. Tagari here
What's
was like...
that range?
Well, he's... Wow.
14 miles, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's
so Bear
way
did
high.
well to actually kill Tagari in this, because Tagari has all that advantage.
Yeah, you can see that this missile doesn't even track
that
at all.
first missile, that's painful to see.
Yeah.
Bear did well there to stay in the notch and defend, and to defeat that. I'm not sure what happened in terms of lock or parameters or what that first missile went dumb.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy to see that Tagari was tracking him.
Oh, right down the train. Okay.
Yeah, it's very, very close down to the train, so it's very easy for Bear to, with a capital B, just to
Always.
always to untrack this Tagari rather on him. So of course it all comes to distance. So when Tagari comes way closer, then he just have to fight the Fox 3 mile 8, and in this case Bear with a capital B tries to turn out hot, put a missile on him, and
I've been on the receiving end of that more than once. You think you have all the advantage bearing down on them, but then you get caught at altitude with nowhere to go.
Yeah.
And Tagari is just, having a difficult time here. You can see just panics, well, not even panics, but tries to get the tanks off, going, right, I now need to defend.
Yeah.
But it's just too late, just can't get a notch.
I mean, but in this situation, I don't know. I really don't know if it would have been better just to do a split S and turn out cold. I'm not sure. I think I would have done that.
There's two problems there. One of them is, if you don't roll left or right, your split S will draw you forward towards the missile, and it will probably connect with you while you're halfway through that split S. If you go left or right, you're making that missile then turn in another direction, so it's going to bleed more energy, but you're so close that it still has tons of energy.
Yeah.
So trying to find the notch in again, to kind of left or right, is probably the right thing to do. You could always try an Immelman and go up and try and defend vertically, but I think the range probably wouldn't have played out there.
Yeah.
If it was a little bit further out, I think, possibly. Bear is commenting in chat, by the way. Mad dog for the trade.
Definitely, mate. Okay, let us keep on. Okay, this is
the next thing you're looking for here is Skywalker goes on a killing spree, killing Johnny G and Sean B, and then Skywalker, I think, puts himself into the ground after launching on Sean B.
Yeah, this is this is a mile 10 Fox 3 and mile 10 Phoenix. Of course, guys, for all of you who doesn't know, you cannot outrun at all a Phoenix.
Not in that range.
And you can see that the Phoenix is still accelerating.
It's Mach 3.5, just a little bit before it decelerates. That's probably about a mile out at that point. And it's still Mach 3.2 when it hits.
3.3, yeah. So it's 3.2, you're right. So you can see, never ever try to outrun a Phoenix at up to this distance. You go for the notch, and pray. That's all.
Yep, lots of prayer.
Lots of prayer.
Prayer with a capital P.
For sure. Well, that's something I did try with my fight this afternoon, but well, I didn't pray with a capital B. I didn't only pray. That's all. So that's why I died. Okay.
Right, so Skywalker got Johnny G. Skywalker will put a missile out on Sean B, and then shortly thereafter, Skywalker goes into the ground. I think.
Trojan did kill MacBoo here, though. This is the kill. I think this is one.
Okay. I think my sequence may be out here.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. But we can see here, this is just a mile 10 shot. That this is roughly easily defended. But the problem is that Macabu here was trying to keep on guiding the missile towards Trojan, and that makes Macabu just to not go to the notch. soon enough, and that's why he did die. And because he's just turning right, just for all of you guys as a reminder, radar warning receivers are located in the point of the wings and the here, and I think it was also in the nose. Yeah, also in the nose. But
you're definitely in a blind spot right there.
yeah, but they are not located either on top or in the belly. Then what it means, Fat Blasted said, but then, or you are dead with a capital D. Totally.
Excellent.
Excellent point, mate. So of course this is a blind spot. This is a blind spot. Then 𝐋𝐈𝐒 here doesn't even know that missile is coming. Just take that into account. He
I
cannot...
think to be fair, like again at the level of experience we're talking about here, I think 𝐋𝐈𝐒 should expect that there's a missile coming. You don't fox at someone at 10 miles who's turning cold and expect them not to have foxed. So I think, to be fair to 𝐋𝐈𝐒, that I would entirely imagine is expecting a missile and is trying to go for a notch, but just doesn't find it.
Yeah, totally right.
Doesn't have an RWR, but that's fine. It's like you don't need to have an RWR warning to expect a missile or to preempt it.
Yeah.
In fact, you shouldn't be waiting an RWR in most situations like that.
Well, that's it. I mean, worst case scenario, you will get the RWR around this distance, but then you should go for the notch and pray with a capital B. That's all.
And chaff with a capital C.
For sure.
What have you started, Bear?
Okay, let us keep on checking because we are almost done with the fight. Okay, where's...
Yeah, so then we've got Skywalker's Phoenix will kill Sean, and Skywalker, we're told by Rook, blacks out. So you can see the defense here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Entirely blackout. Okay. Oh, what's a pity, mate.
If you watch the G load, you'll see it probably peak as that defense happens.
So G is over here. We have...
I can't see that on screen.
You cannot? On the left side?
Now I can.
Okay, perfect.
That's
So,
coming on.
oh, here it is. So here he's pulling cold. 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 Gs.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That will do it for sure. For sure. Well, you crash to the ground, but at least you put a Phoenix downrange towards Shin. How was the pronunciation? Sorry.
Sean.
Sean. Because Sean, I think I cannot remember that Sean was the American pronunciation, a different name though.
There are at least 3 spellings of the same pronounced name.
Oh really?
So the Irish, they all come from the Irish name Sean, which is spelt exactly as their. You have an accent over the A in the usual spelling, but you won't see it generally in kind of game names like this.
Okay, the more you know. Okay, so of course in this left flank everything's decided, so this one is entirely okay. Seen, okay, Sean.
Mm-hmm.
This reminds me of my regular verb when I was studying English, by the way. It reminds me of it.
Alright, so then we have Sean B is dead, 𝐋𝐈𝐒 is dead, Trojan will kill Signore, Penguin will kill Rook, there's Rook dying, yeah.
Yeah. But Rook or Rook? I think we have something like that in chat. Okay,
yeah.
So
I'll probably alternate between Rook and Rook, to be honest. I think Rook is how I normally pronounce it.
Yeah. So of course we can see he cannot outrun this missile at all, like at all. And this is a mile 8 missile, and the pity is that Rook was very well positioned just to go for the notch. He was already almost notching.
So 2 things you want to look at here is the altitude on Penguin at 31,500 feet and the speed of Penguin when its Penguin launches. Mach 1.6 right there. That has big energy behind it.
I mean,
so you're probably not going to outrun that. Certainly not when you're subsonic at 14,000.
I mean, I think you can see that this 120 is like Mach 4.2. Like, freaking god! I haven't seen that 120 this fast anytime before.
That's why it's just Viper high and fast. It's Viper beta right now.
Yeah, Viper beta for sure. And of course, Rock here doesn't turn to the notch, and then that's what you go for. So Rock, now that you are together with us here in the chat, Well, for us, seeing now with a beer in front and such, for next time, go for the notch. I think that's the best option you have. You cannot outrun the missile at this distance, like at all. Only will be possible, and if you were out-cold and Penguin was down at your same level with your same speed. That would be the only option you will have. But
yeah, I think again, in terms of mitigating factors, you know, for everybody who's involved, like at this stage of the match, your situational awareness is going to be quite overloaded. You know, you won't necessarily know that that guy is looking at you. You know, sure, you've got data link, but actually keeping up on everybody involved is difficult. You know, your bucket becomes full so quickly. You know, it was probably whatever Rook was doing in the lead up to this would determine who Rook was really concentrating on. I suspect it was Signore. Looking at the flight path there, it went hot to Signore and then turned away from Signore. So this was probably a vector that didn't expect, and by the time RWR went off, it was so close and fast. You can see Rook trying to defend. You know, it's just too late.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, so there you go. Rook is focused on these other guys.
He was focused on Macabre and then turned out cold to defend any possible incoming
And at that
missile.
stage, Penguin is way out. You know. But the speed brings Penguin in then fast.
Yeah, I mean, 1.6, that's heck of a lot fast yet in this case of scenario.
Rook is saying in chat, I wasn't expecting a Mach 4 plus AMRAM.
Yeah, make peace with notching.
Nobody expects a Mach 4 plus AMRAM.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
That was my next line.
So yeah, next time respect the notch with a capital N.
Bear, you have so much to answer for.
We hate you, mate. We love you, by the way, but we hate you. With a capital H. Okay, so Trojan does turn out hot here, put his 120 towards Signore while trying to defend this one, but of course, I mean, it's very hard to defend this distance, and more so when you are this high. If you want to defend this missile this close, you have to go way low and to use round clutter to defend this missile. If not, you are dead.
Try and pull it into the terrain, but that's exactly what Trojan tries to do, to be fair.
Yeah, but you are way too high to do that. That's the problem. You want to do this, you have to be like 3,000 to 4,000 feet down below this altitude to start. If not, you cannot pull this one off. But oh well, his missile did commit. He did track. Oh, this is a nice tracking, by the way. So Signore did try to defend, but unluckily, it was a good trade. And guys, that's all for this match between TFS81 and Green Reapers competitive. So of course, just before finishing up, I just want to first and foremost say thanks to the organization 64 Squadron, and even more than that, in this case for me, Titanfire has joined me like I mean, you've been together with me all my streams, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Funny that.
Yeah, I didn't know. I just noticed that one out. So yeah, so Titanfire has been helping me out with this casting thing. Well, I just say that I have lots of fun having him around, and I'm sure that he's adding. I mean, you can see, guys, he's adding lots of value to the stream. So a shout out to Titanfire. Please just hit him up. I think you are going to stream next week, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was meant to be streaming at the same time as this match we've just done, but it got rescheduled. So the one that I am going to be streaming is Outer Heaven versus the Motor City Pit Vipers. If I can find what group that's in, it'll be lovely, but it has been scheduled for the 25th, which is next Sunday at 1500 Zulu.
So by the way, guys, I just put up the next dates for the matches, so you can check them out. Okay. Of course, you can see that we are almost already up in the group. The group stages are almost done. So next fights are on 24th, 25th. What more? Yeah, next weekend we have a few more fights. And then we'll be having the finals, quarterfinals and such. We'll be having them on the last weekend of the month. So guys, keep up posted. Be sure to check TACT21 website, because there you will get all updates regarding all the matches. So guys, I hope that you all have enjoyed the fight, have enjoyed Titan Fires. Sorry, mates, correct me whenever I wrong. Titan Fire.
That's good.
Titan Fire with a capital T.
Capital T and a capital F.
Capital T, capital F, Titan Fire, and me. Well, and as lower dash, by the way. We have to add that too. So, thank you for coming, mate. I hope that you all viewers have enjoyed the fight, have enjoyed the commentary, and see you next time. I think I don't remember having any more fights scheduled. I have to check that out.
I think you do on the 24th. I'm looking at the schedule now. And the 24th is next Saturday. You are streaming at 1900 Zulu, the 14th of EFS versus DCS half.
You are right, and now it's showing the screen.
And that is a decider, by the way, for that group.
Oh,
that
really?
That is the group of the 343rd Naval Air Group, the 14th VFS Samurais, and DCS half. If the 14th win that match, then they will win the group. If DCS half win the match, then each of the 3 squadrons in the group will have won a match. It'll go down to kills and deaths. If it's a draw, then I suspect that would put the 14th through.
So
I think the winner of that goes up against 𝐶𝐒 in the qualifying bracket for the quarterfinals.
So, guys, that's why you get Titan Fire on board, because he knows his way around everything, all the information.
Well, I say it often enough on my own stream when I'm going on that I almost have it memorized at this point.
Well, that's something I cannot do at all. I have such a bad memory, by the way. I cannot do that. So, well, guys, we'll just end it here. I hope that you had your fun, guys. And we'll be seeing you next weekend for next matches. So, guys, good night, good afternoon, good morning for some of you, I hope. And see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you all.